to have the bollocks.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with me on that?
You've completely, like, what are we doing here? Levy isn't going anywhere.
It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Five. There's 4 of us right now, but as a Thursday night is a Thursday night, you know, just as the sun follows the sunset, we have a 5th, and it's a new guest. It's a new guest, first time on the show. This person hasn't even made it into the guest selector pre-picks yet, but you know what? When people make waves, people make a bit of noise, people make a little bit of an impact, then they get their chance, you know. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this particular person handles the banter, handles the energy, handles the absolutely expected nonsense, the waffle that's going to be riffing through these airways for the next 2 hours. Big up to you all. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the march to whatever we're on the march to. Notification buttons should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped thick and fast. Before I come and find out how the boys are doing, before we then find out how the guest is doing, I have to get my my organization back in play. We are, of course, sponsored by OK Jersey. You know the score by now. If you're looking for your Jeremy Jacques, if you're looking for the best clobber, best value, best quality in town for all of your sports athleisure wear, then you can get them over at OK Jersey. And these guys are on the march. They have their finger on the pulse. They've been reaching out to me all week saying, Sean, it's that time of year when no one wants any particular first team jerseys anymore because the season's almost done. How do we get things going? I've been sending them my ideas. I've been asking these boys for their ideas. If you have any retro numbers or any particular requirements, any particular things you'd like, then let me know. Let us know. Stick them in the chat and I'll get them over to Edward. And these guys are very, very quick on the draw. So you get 8% off at checkout using code 5. You know what to do. Go over there and show your support. Very soon, I think they're going to be giving us the 15% code.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry. Nothing.
Oh, yeah. We'll worry about the 15% when we get the 15%. Ah! Anyway, just go over there, do the OK Jersey thing. You know what to do. Guys, let's before we get into it, of course, you also have to know that we are available on all your podcast platforms. So if you are looking for better ways to enjoy the Walking of the Wife experience, you can do so by watching us back on Spotify, and you can hear us back on Apple and Amazon and all that jazz. So make sure you go over there, give us a rating, give us a follow, give us a view. Guys, Stel, how are you, mate? That hair is growing back thicker than Tottenham Hotspur's hopes. Mate, I really, really appreciate it. It's nice, mate. It's a good little indicator. Maybe we should get those boys to give us a sponsorship, eh? You are a walking, talking billboard for the Harley Street Clinic. Absolutely fantastic. How are you? Absolutely fantastic. How are you, Stel? You okay?
Fantastic. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Thanks for watching. Apologies for the podcast not being uploaded recently. But now I'm in my digs. I will be uploading the podcast. And this isn't fake. This is real. It's real. Because some of you are saying it's some background animation. It's not. These are my new digs. So Cypriot Britwork is a bit different to UK. And do you know what, guys? I'm just going to get it off my chest whilst we're here. I absolutely hate people that point score. Honestly, I'm sick of it. And the final score will be Tottenham 2, Atletico 5. Final score will be Tottenham 2, Atletico 5. Final score will be Tottenham 2, Atletico 5.
Nice. No one likes a point scorer. But that was actually a fantastic prediction. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah. I hope you got 24-1 down at Cheltenham. Paddy Power on that one. Stelios, it would have been absolutely fantastic. £5 and gets £120 back. Absolutely splendid. Absolutely terrific. Well done, mate. Very good. Very, very good indeed. Lubo, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Yeah, all good. Just about recovered from my fantastic day out in Madrid.
Again, that was a good 24 hour out of bed, 4:15 Tuesday morning, back through the front door, 4:15 Wednesday morning for another wonderful 90 minutes with our glorious team. But there you go. It was a strange game. It was a strange match. But I'm sure we'll catch up with it during the next few minutes.
You will indeed, mate. Good to see you. And Johnny, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Buenas noches. Back from the wonderful Madrid. Beautiful town, great food, good company. Shame about the football. No news from the board about the long-suffering Spurs fans. No gesture of a refund, a partial refund. Wouldn't even enter into their vocabulary, this lot. To the fans,
partial refund.
Partial refund.
Looking for a cheeky refund.
Cheeky refund. Yeah. I think after what we should have got danger money. Danger money, Sean. Danger money. To the guys that left at 4-0, I don't blame you. To the people like me who stayed to the 87th minute, well done. To those that stayed till full time, massive plaudits. Massive plaudits. I went at 87, so I missed a bash on the head. But listen, it's a sad day for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, unfortunately. Things are only getting worse, but I'm sure we'll discuss that tonight. But I am now officially a Bodo Glimt fan. Bodo till I die. And let's hope that they do very well in the Champions League. It's the fairy tale that I'm hooking onto to, deaden the pain of supporting Spurs.
Yeah, it's good to see you, mate. And obviously, I'm with you on the Bodo thing, just because Helga, I miss you. Anyway, let's find out. We've got 5 people tonight. Let's find out who our 5th guest is. Let's start off with the guest selector. Who could it be? Ladies and gentlemen, we are making new waves on this channel. I think this is the first time we've had a female on the show. So all of you misogynists, all of you with your preconditions, your predispositions, park them at the door. We're not going to give her a free ride because she doesn't have the Y chromosome. She's coming in, and we are going to give her just as much of a grilling as everybody else. Big up to you, Sarah. Welcome, Spurs from the stand. Sarah, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, good. Well, in better times, I would say good. But in general, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
It's great to see you. Great to see you. Listen, how long have you been doing content for, by the way? You're relatively new, aren't you? This season's your first season?
About 2 months ago.
2 months, yeah. Yeah, very good, very good. I often get comments in my videos saying you have to get Sarah from Spurs from the stands on. And at the time, I was like, who is this? Who is this? And I went and found. I went and had a look, and now I know why. Now obviously I've seen how good you're very high quality for someone who's so new to it. Usually you start off really ropey, or at least I did. I'll go back and watch.
What are you talking about? We're still ropey.
Yeah, still ropey. Yeah.
Just a little bit
we never get these compliments from Sean. We never get these compliments from Sean.
That's the
last. I'm just saying.
Bloody sexist.
People that are new to the game, they generally start off a little bit ropey, and then they get marginally better over time. Sarah, your level at the start has been very impressive, so I'm sure you're going to go on to great things.
It's an evolution.
It is an evolution. Yeah.
Last month I was on We Are Tottenham TV with Stell, and we were talking about Frank and everything.
You're going up.
So much has changed. Much has changed. It's a completely different situation now. So a lot has changed. My opinions have changed, and yeah.
Yeah, and tonight the environment has changed because We Are Tottenham TV keep a very respectful heart. This place has got the propensity to be a bit of a firecracker of an environment. So
hold on to the handrail, Sarah. Hold on to the handrail.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, let's get going. Welcome everyone. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe, notification button squeeze, comments should be dropped. Well, we've got one place to start, and we start in Madrid. Johnny, I'm going to come to you first, my man. Listen, you were there. of all the starts to a Champions League last 16, I don't think they could have written a worse start. Before we actually get into the game, the first 16 minutes, let's talk about the starting 11. Obviously, the only place to start was with the goalkeeper. Did Igor Tudor, were you in support of Igor Tudor dropping Vicario? Because a lot of the fan base were in support of the idea of it. We were teased with the idea that he was going to be dropped for the Crystal Palace game. He wasn't. And then he was for this one. It didn't work out, but before the game, were you okay with it?
I wasn't okay with anything that Tudor did before the game when I saw the setup. I was a bit dumbfounded, really, as to what was going on. But should he have played Kinsky? Absolutely not. And it's not a hindsight thing. Did I think Vicario needed to be dropped? Yes, but not for this game. I mean, that is a cauldron in the Metropolitan Stadium. It really is. The atmosphere was unbelievable.
Brilliant,
I would say it's probably matched by Frankfurt away, which was pretty intense for the entire game. But the atmosphere was fantastic. Not to mention the fact that, well, we'll get on to that. The other thing I wanted to mention, which we spoke about earlier, Sean, about this club not actually doing any research into the pitch where it was there for all to see beforehand. Yeah. But our club doesn't do due diligence. But no, I was not happy with the
was that a play on words there, mate? Was that a play on words there? Due diligence, like the dew on the grass. I like that. Is that quite? I like that, mate. I don't know if you meant it.
Yeah, this is the club.
This the grass.
This the club. This the grass. Look, I wasn't happy, Sean. Right? Listen, I'm not going to go into the whole game, but I would just go as far as to say, in all the years I've been watching football, I just when I thought that this club had given me every type of disaster, shenanigans, I thought I'd seen it all. I obviously hadn't. That opening 22 minutes was, I was pinching myself. There were people screaming, shouting. Lubo will tell you as well. There were fans shouting at each other. There were fans that turned around and walked out. There were fans that were applauding Kinsky going off. There was all sorts going on. But I don't think the Champions League seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. And I think it's the first time in something like 13 or 14 years where 4 gift goals, own goals, whatever you want to call them, assisted goals from the home team have gone in. It was absolutely shocking. I don't know. Maybe people who weren't around me, but for the 5 or 6 people who I was stood with, they weren't particularly happy. There was a group, though, that were very happy that Kinsky was playing in goal. I wasn't. Too big an occasion. And it proved to be.
Yeah, Johnny. Let me stick with you just quickly on this one. Then let's sort of get your full take on the game before we move on to the rest. Obviously, we did start the game. The rest of the team sort of somewhat picked itself to some degree. I think you can maybe have little arguments with certain players, but I think the rest of the formation was something like what we were expecting. Tell me if you disagree. But obviously, the wheels fell off very, very quickly. How much of that do you put down to Kinsky being nervous and just the occasion being too much for him? How much do you think it was just down to a thing that we are going to discuss in bigger detail? Obviously, the pitch being wet and the lack of preparation. And who do you blame for that? Was it the players for not recognizing that their footwear wasn't appropriate? Was it the boot man for not bringing the studs? I don't know if he did, but no one apparently changed their studs the entire game. But we're 3-0 down after 15 minutes, and chaos was it was too late to fix anything after that, right?
Look, it wasn't a bloody secret, Sean, right? Koke, the Atletico Madrid captain, has mentioned on numerous occasions that the pitch is a disaster. They relayed it in November, and we saw in the Copa del Rey, Atletico Madrid absolutely smashing Barcelona 4-0, and it could have been a lot worse. Look at the mistakes the keeper made. Look at the slipping. It was constantly slipping all over the place. If you're doing your research on the team you're about to play, one would assume, rightly or wrongly, that you would be looking at the videos from their previous games. And you would probably assume that, having looked at the games when the Atletico were playing at home, that the opposition players were slipping all over the place. It's not to say that the Atletico players haven't struggled on the pitch, but they would have done something to negate the issue. We didn't. Not only did we not do it at the start of the game, when it became apparent, when Richie tried to shoot after about 5 minutes and right in front of goal slipped over, then Kinsky, then Van der Ven. Why was no one going to the referee saying, look, there's something wrong with this pitch here. Something needs to be done. We hear them go off.
The only thing you can't go off because there's oil on the pitch or whatever.
No, but you can make a complaint to the referee. You can say something. You can go over to the, you can do something. The management or staff can call the referee over and say, look, there's something going on. Anyway, look, I'm not going to make excuses for all of it because that was just one element. The truth is, Sean, right, there are players there that just don't give a shit about the badge, the club. They've checked out. That's my opinion. Nothing's going to change.
Certainly, can we save that part of the conversation for the next segment?
But look, I think, as Jason Cundy would say, we did well in the second half. We got a draw in the second half. It could have been a lot worse. I didn't think Atletico Madrid were very good. If I'm brutally honest, yes, they pulled us apart in that first 20 minutes. Alvarez and Griezmann were fantastic. But the second half, we had plenty of chances. And I think had it not been for that pitch and not realising how bad that pitch was, we definitely could have been going back, 5-3, 5-4. It was possible because they were there to be got at. They weren't your typical Simeone team that defends really tight and come away with a 1-0 win. That's it. But I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. And thank God that this stream is today and not yesterday, because yesterday it would have been unprintable.
Yeah. I hear you. Luba, I'll come to you, mate. Without going over the same old ground or the same wet ground, do you think that Tottenham? I think that the natural conclusion after the game was everyone was going to their usual. This club's through it. This club's ruined. It's finished. Finito. Shut the whole club down. Everything's a problem. Tudor's got to go. Kinsky should never play football. Everything again. Let me ask you this specifically: were you impressed by when you were in the stadium, the people around you, after 20 minutes, those that were still there? Did you think that Tottenham showed some resilience, some fight back? Considering you're 4-0 down, it could have been easy just to kind of pack up and it could have been any number, cricket score sort of stuff.
Listen,
for me, I thought the team rallied quite well, and I don't think anyone's given any credit for that rally from the 20th minute onwards.
No, I agree. I think the form has been horrendous, hasn't it, since the beginning of the year? In fact, really since the beginning of November with Chelsea. 12 points from 20 league games is horrendous. But I do think it was, for me, it's so frustrating following this club. We gift wrapped 3 goals for them in the first 15 minutes. Just handed it. It was like Christmas presents. They didn't have to work for them. The first one, Kinsky had the ball. We're in no danger. The second one, Van der Ven slipped again. The ball, if he hadn't have slipped, there was no pressure on him. He had 10 yards on, before someone picked him up. Third goal was just dreadful. That was just dreadful judgment. Again, Kinsky's carried out. He's messed up the first one, and 10 minutes later, he's trying to play a first-time ball at a different angle to what the ball is coming to him at. It was just poor judgment, and you just think, this is Tottenham. This unfortunately is the club that we support. We had the chances. You had Richie turning and spinning and shooting just wide after 5 minutes. You had Romero's header hit the post. Richie should have buried that chance. And when you're down, football changes, doesn't it? And I saw this with Chelsea at PSG. Missed a chance, all of a sudden PSG got this 15 seconds later and score. And that's what happened with us. you know, if Richard scored that header 4-2, and all of a sudden different game.
What about the good work he did, Lubo?
I'm just talking about specific specific incidents, and the game. You know, the whole tide changed to that. If we'd have been 4-2 down, or you know,
there's a chance. Then it's 4-3. They're on the back foot. You take a 4-3 loss back to Tottenham. It's not the end of the world, but they go down the other end and score immediately.
And 5-1, and the whole thing is pretty much done and dusted. Griezmann was terrific, fabulous flick,
unbelievable.
And you know, he sped away, didn't he? Alvarez took it brilliantly. This wasn't the Atletico Madrid defensively of old. This was a defense that was wide open at times, and you just think to yourself,
and a goalkeeper who's arguably just as bad as Vicario at distributing the ball.
Oh, worse. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how people would want Kinsky in. We had him last year. No,
I didn't mean Kinsky. I meant Jan Oblak. Jan Oblak was horrendous distributing the ball.
Yes, I'm told that was a one-off.
He's a quality goalkeeper, but he had a shocker.
He did as well. But you know, you look at the team that he selected, and he left 5 players out. You know, God knows why. He had a brainstorm, Tudor. You know, for me, he should have started with Vicario, Pellegrini and Gallagher in midfield instead of Gray and Sarr. He should have had Simmons there in the 10 instead of Tell, and he should have had Solanke up front with Richie.
Do you think he had one eye on the Liverpool game?
Possibly. I did look at that lineup and think, is he prioritising Sunday? But you know, this is a Champions League game. It's the last 16. You've got to take it seriously. You know, it's a massive game. You get a lot more money for getting through each round, and you know, we're going to need that money when when there's a massive player turnover in the summer. So for me, I thought Tudor was really poor. Thought his treatment of Kinsky was shocking as well. Give the kid a bit longer. You know, let him make up for his mistakes. You selected him. That's down to you. Don't bottle it. You made that. You put him out there. You stick with it. And you know, if you're going to pull him off at half time, away from the glare.
Interesting. Okay, I disagree, but I'll come to that later. So you think he should have been? So you think he should have been kept on for at least 45? Do you?
I would have monitored it for the next 10, definitely.
Okay. All right, let me bring in we'll keep the conversation flowing because it's obviously 5 of us. I'm not going to be giving too many answers. I've given a lot of mine already, so I'll just play host. Sarah, let me bring you in. Let's start with the actual Kinsky situation there. Lubo's saying give the guy 45 minutes. It was Tudor's call, and then Tudor decides to I guess people are making the argument destroy the kid's career. He is a young goalkeeper. It was in front of the eyes of the world. Gets hooked after 15 minutes. Whether or not you agree, I'll let you answer. Whether or not you agree with whether it was taking him off in 16, 17 minutes or waiting until half time, also including your argument or your answer, whether or not it was right for Igor Tudor to not even acknowledge him as he's walking off the pitch, and the fact that 2 or 3 players had to go and console him as he's walking down the tunnel. What was your take on that whole first 15 minutes?
Yeah, well, just to begin, I guess I'm one of those people that wanted Kinsky played. If anyone saw my matchday vlog, I was going mental. I was going mental at our last home game because obviously we conceded 3 goals. So in 17 minutes. So I was like, well, how bad does Kinsky have to be to not start? And obviously that's how bad you have to be. And in retrospect, I'm kind of glad in some kind of weird way that happened, not in a Premier League game where there's 3 points at stake. So from that perspective, that's the upside, I guess. But I think that he was very, very unlucky. It wasn't necessarily a skill or technical thing. It was just that the pitch was overwatered. And we know that because Barcelona slipped up there, and even Griezmann has been complaining. And that's why Atletico Madrid have won more games away than at home this season, or so the players are saying. So I don't think it was wrong that he hooked him after he conceded those three goals. I think he was completely shot. Like, you could see it in his face. And when you have those moments and everything's just going against you, the fans are against you, the atmosphere, the players get into your heads. I think, unfortunately for him, and I hope it's not a career defining moment for him, but I think it had to be done in that moment. And on the upside, we're 3 goals down going into the second leg, the same as Man City and Chelsea. So we got 2 back. So I guess that's the only thing that you can say that's good about it. But in the main, I don't think he was wrong for hooking him. Maybe how he acknowledged him after. But look, it was probably quite a humiliating situation for Tudor as well, because he made that decision. So obviously it's going to backfire on him as well. So as the manager.
Yeah, so let me sort of dig into that a little bit more, right? Because later on in the game, Jed Spence gets hooked, and I don't think it wasn't shown on TV, but the commentators went out of their way, at least on the stream I was watching, to say, I'd love it if the Tottenham fans could see this right now. Jed Spence has walked to the dugout to take his spot, and then he's decided to pivot back to Igor Tudor, who's in his technical area, who hasn't acknowledged him either, and then went and tapped him on the shoulder to get Igor Tudor's attention, and then put a sarcastic hand out as if to say, you know, we shake hands here. This is what we do. You know, you haven't done it for Kinsky. You haven't done it for me. You didn't do it for the other players either. And a sort of overt demonstration of Jed Spence once again showing some level of apathy towards management. And well, I've been chewing over this for the last couple of days, Sarah. I don't know whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. On the one hand, to your point, and you know, I would agree that if you've just hooked the goalkeeper off, that you made the decision to put him into that lion's den and it hasn't worked out, you are culpable as much as the goalkeeper is. And obviously the goalkeeper, for the most part, it was slips, right? Obviously we can chew over whether he put his hand out enough for the first goal. He probably could have saved it. But for all the side, like, then the moment became too big for him. And then obviously there was a series of issues, right? But he gets hooked off. The manager doesn't even console him or give him any kind of acknowledgement. He didn't do the same with any of the other substitutions. And then Jed Spence has had enough. He gets hooked off later on in the game and then just goes out of his way in front of the cameras, once again from Jed Spence, to show a level of disrespect towards the management. This is going to sort of lead into a later question, but what's your overall take? Was that appropriate for Jed Spence to do it? Was that some saying, I'm trying to support Kinsky here, that you've let him down in that moment, you should have been there for him, and I'm going to be the bigger man and say, what are you doing, bro? Or it's just Jed Spence being a donut because Jed Spence has got history doing this? What's your take on this whole kind of relationship between players and the manager?
They're all professional players. Kinsky's a professional. You know, he's paid to kick the football, and he didn't kick the football away from his net. You know, he's got one job to do, and he didn't do it. So I can understand Tudor's frustration. But at the same time, look, these players have no respect for any manager. They're not going to have respect for the next guy that comes in either. Can you imagine Harry Redknapp walking in? They're all going to laugh in his face. Like, they've got no respect. They've all got bigger than this club, which is why we're hearing stories constantly that they all want to leave. That's the truth. You know, that's the bottom line of it. So I think it's a minor thing. We've, you know, Spence arguably ignored Frank when he went off. Maybe he's making a point that he's, you know, turning his reputation around by doing that, because he was the guy who everyone was slating for ignoring Frank. So maybe he's like, oh, now I can't be the guy ignoring him again. Now I have to shake his hand, you know. Maybe it's sort of his, I don't know, PR that's at stake, you know, his reputation. But I don't know. I don't think there's much in it for me personally. I just think there's a complete breakdown, and we don't know what happened at half time in the dressing room. I hope that they'll win in and was like screaming at each other, you know.
Yeah, so do I. Were you impressed with the second half, Sarah?
I can't say impressed. Maybe we saved ourselves from being completely out of the tie. That's what we did. We saved ourselves to be completely out of the tie. I mean, 3-0 down at home, it's probably not going to happen. Or we need four goals at home. So it's probably not going to happen, and we always concede. So I can't see it happening. But I guess on the upside, you could say that they sort of saved themselves from a 5-0 defeat. But second half, they showed a bit of fight. But I think he made the wrong selections in the first place. So it was all a bit of a mishmash, you know. But I'd rather he experiments now than the next game, because clearly they're not sacking him. So
when you say you made the wrong selections, what selections would you have picked outside? You said yourself you wanted Kinsky. So apart from that one, or including that one, what were the decisions?
He probably should have done a 4 at the back. He probably should have put Gallagher in there. You know, I know Gallagher hasn't been great for us recently. Look, we can all be masters in hindsight, right? You know, we can all say it would have worked because every time we're like calling for the other player to bring in, they're all as bad as each other. That's the truth. It's like it's a completely mental block that they've got, which is running through the entire squad. So I don't think it would have mattered what 11 you played, but maybe you could say rather than playing Sarr and Gray, who are both young and arguably inexperienced, they could have had at least one of Paulinho or Gallagher in there, but that. Paulinho is now out with concussion, so we're not going to see him for a while. So whatever way you would have spun it, the footballing gods are not with us at the moment. But
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Something.
Sean, is there any chance, just quickly, that now Paulinho has got concussion, that he'll come back and we'll think he's Caicedo?
Yeah, maybe, mate. But I think it's more likely he can say no, to be entirely honest, mate. If he comes back,
he's going to come back and he's going to come back and get injured because when you get concussion, you're more susceptible to injuries, and that's what happened to Archie Gray. The game after he came back from concussion, he got injured and he's out.
There are fans who were saying they purposely headbutted each other to avoid having to play for Spurs. I think there has to be some truth maybe in that.
Yeah. It's the footballing equivalent of I'd rather put like hot pokers in my eyes. I'd rather just headbutt Paulinho and get myself out for a couple of cheeky weeks, you know. Stel, big up to you, mate, for waiting. So I know it's always a bit of a, if you go last on the first round, it's a bit of a time. Listen, I do want to get your take on, obviously, first of all, congratulations on the wonderful prediction. You did say, I'm going to have to call you out a little bit because you clipped that and chopped it up in a way that you removed the parts where you were wrong. You did say that we were going to go 2-0 up like against PSG. So you weren't entirely right, but you did get the prediction was fantastic. Absolutely.
I didn't say we were going to go 2-0 up. That's not true.
I think you said we were going to go up. We were going to score first.
I said Spurs would score first.
Yeah, and that was conveniently clipped out of the clip you put together. Listen, I'm just here to keep records.
So whatever makes you sleep at night.
I'm only kidding. Listen, fantastic prediction. What was your take on the overall performance, mate? I do want to get some iota of whether or not, because everyone right now is saying, you know what, the players are done, everyone's done, we're going down, no one cares, nobody cares. But actually going 4-0 down in a Champions League game, and then from that point, coming back to win the game from that point on 26 minutes in, you win the rest of the game 2-1 or whatever. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm the only person. I'll be a one-man soldier in this pursuit, but I feel like there is some credit that has to be given for the relative fight back. I didn't think it didn't feel like a 4-0 game after the 26th minute. I don't know whether there's any truth to that in your mind still. What was your take?
Whenever the game's over, Spurs decide to play football. We did it against Man City. We did it against pretty much every team this season. When the chips are down, we're out. Spurs decide to give it a go. So nothing new there. 4-0 down, Spurs decide, okay, do you know what? Let's give it a go. Great. Well done. So there's no credit for me. It's what they do when the pressure's off.
Why is that then? Why does that happen?
Because these players, they don't like pressure. These He told us they don't like pressure, mate. They don't. Look, when we were talking about predictions,
great Conte.
Forget
Cypriot. You have to learn the difference.
Bloody racist.
Apologies. Apologies.
It's unbelievable, mate. It's just so uncultured. Zero culture. Look, when we did our predictions, forget what we said score-wise. I said Spurs are going to have a stinker. You just knew what was coming on the basis that we have been shit in Europe away from home all season. That's what I said. Lucky against Monaco, lucky against Bodo. Mate, as soon as we come up against a team that's got killers, Griezmann, Alvarez, Lookman, they will punish you. They're not going to miss those chances like the other teams did. And they punished us. So I never believed we were going to do anything in this game. I knew we'd end up having our pants pulled down. I actually don't have an issue if Kinsky started. I'm with Sarah on this one. We conceded 5 goals. Only 2 were Kinsky's fault. The other 3. So, he's easy. He's the easy target because, we do have our targets. If it's not Van der Ven, it's Romero or it's Porro or it's whoever. Is there an argument to say that the stage was too big to just throw him in like that? I think there is. But would Vicario have done much better? Would he have not given away a clanger or 2? No one knows. The thing that pissed me off the most with this game was either you go all in to win it, or you throw the game away and just focus on the Premier League. He did this half-baked thing where he started our best available defenders, our best available attackers in his mind, and then he decimated the midfield. Like, what was that? The best defensive mid is who? Paulinho, benched. The second most experienced Champions League player after Paulinho is who? In midfield? Conor Gallagher, benched. The only number 10 creative player we've got? Benched. And when we're doing the predictions, I said, I've got a feeling he's going to drop him because he doesn't like him. So the best players for the 6, the 8 and the 10, based on experience and ability, all on the bench. So he played the weakest midfield we had, yet he played the strongest defense and arguably the strongest attack from what he views. So what was that? Are you trying to win it or are you trying to throw it? He did something in the middle and it was a disaster.
Made no sense. Made no sense, though.
I was on Sava's channel before the game went live, and I was saying, Sava, I've got no idea what this manager's just done. I have no idea what he's trying to do here. What's going to happen is we're going to invite pressure onto the defence because we don't have a midfield, and we're asking for trouble. And what did we do? We invited the pressure on, we made mistakes, and we paid the price. So I think we're out the tie. I don't think there's a comeback. I said if it's a 3-goal deficit or more, we're out. We are going to be out. Even if we score 3 goals at home, they're not going to come to our ground and not score a goal. They're through. The tie's over. We might as well follow that second leg.
Even if it goes to
we
penalties,
might as well follow the second leg.
There's only one guarantee in a penalty, and that's that Vicario dives the wrong way every single time. Every time.
Can you ask a question? Will Vicario ever guess the right way before he leaves the club? I mean, it's
absolutely not. I'd love to play poker against the man. He must have the greatest of all poker tells. You know.
Can I also just say one thing, right? Fans have misrepresented their views on Spurs throughout this season, and I've been consistent saying, how shit we are. There was so many issues around the club, and I've never ever got caught up in any hype or what I call fake positivity, deluded energy. Right? That Champions League 4th place was the biggest con ever, and the proof is this. As soon as it goes to the knockout stage, when it becomes real, all the English clubs struggled. They all struggled, bar Newcastle. Why? Because now it's real. Now it's where it matters. Arsenal, lucky to get that.
Everyone else played away from home.
Chelsea
everyone else played away from home in the first leg.
But Sean, this is the business end, and they all took either a whooping or a very underwhelming performance was shown. So I don't get caught up in that kind of, but we beat Copenhagen. We did well against Villarreal. And the only good performance I thought was against Dortmund. Other than that, I thought the rest was bang average or crap.
Well, Bodo's looking like a great result. Don't disrespect my club.
Bodo's manager should be targeted as the man Spurs should bring in with his coaching team. In my view, son. I think he's fantastic. I think he's one of the best manager coaches in the business for what he's doing right now. He deserves all the praise he's getting. Our league position is the true reflector of what we are. We are a mess. We're an absolute mess. And that game was everything that sums up Spurs this season. It's a tragedy. It's a mess. You can't even explain it anymore. You can't even explain what's going on. And that's where we are, guys. So it's what I expected, to be honest with you. And I think it's going to get worse because we've kept Tudor.
I'll just say he's only been there for 4 games, Tudor. We've conceded 14 goals. And poor little Archie Gray, right? So far, he's played left wing back, right wing back, and centre midfield in the 4 games, right? And the one game he actually had a good game where he got an assist. You'd think, oh, well, hang on a minute. I found out the player's actually quite good in this position. He moves him, right? He doesn't make any. This manager who played Pedro Porro. I hear people saying, well, you've got to give the guy a chance. The guy's played Pedro Porro at centre-back. He's played Archie Gray in 3 different positions in 4 games. And that muppet, Johan Lang, turned round when he appointed him, and he said in that press conference, he turned around and he said, When we looked at Tudor, we knew he was the guy that could come in on Monday morning, look at the players in training and understand exactly how to adapt this squad to get them winning. He's got a history of it. And I believe this guy can come in and can do a great job and could potentially be here for a long time. This is a guy, he's not adapted. How can you talk about adapting?
Johnny, this is why I wanted him out after the Arsenal game.
Hang on, let me just finish.
After the Arsenal game, he should have gone.
Hang on.
He should have
gone.
Yeah,
the last bit I was going to say was, he said he's talking about adapting. The guy's just come straight in and played exactly the same formation as he played in Italy. 3 at the back. We all know Amorim, 3 at the back, didn't work. This guy is going to maintain 3 at the back, 3 at the back, until it is no more, and he is no more. He's not for changing. He's not for adapting. He's not for understanding at all, because we're 4 games in and it is getting worse, not better. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but Sean, this goes back to when we hired him. When people were saying, you know, but he's going to put a rocket up their arse and he's going to really, you know, put it on them and he's not going to take any shit. And you know, my argument at the time was, I don't think these players need that. I don't think these players can handle that. I don't think these players are going to respond to that. And I said at the time, they need, remember what I said? They need fake love. They need to be told lies. Tell them they're great. Tell them that they're going to play in the World Cup if they just raise their spirits and put it on. I said,
who's the salesman? Who's the guy who's going to sell them the fake love? Was it Ange Postecoglou?
Well, at the time, and you know, a lot of people dismissed it, and actually, and this is where I defended Lubo, I never had an issue with Redknapp and a collective of ex-Spurs players as a team coming in to do it. I was on board with that, and I defended Lubo with that last show as well. I think that would have been a better route to try, because it's all an experiment. We don't know. That was a better route than this. This is sabotage. This is sabotage.
We need Harry off the Spurs 5 and in the dressing room. That's what we need.
Well, listen, you had Harry on last week, guys. You had him on last week. It was absolutely fantastic to come on the show. But at the end of the day, guys, you know, I did go on TalkSport this morning and I did speak about Jermaine Defoe, who was also on the show. You know, absolutely fantastic. He did say, guys, I said on the show, Daniel Levy phoned me last week. He phoned me. I hadn't spoken to him for the best part of since I left the club, actually. He phoned me up to check in on me. He said, how are you? I said, I'm okay, Daniel. He said, I'm not just saying this to you, mate. I'm not just saying this because you're on the phone, but I want you to know if I was at the football club, I would have phoned you and got you into the end of the season. Now, I'm not saying that the rest of the Tottenham board feel the same way, but I am available and I would love to get Jermaine in as well, and Crouchy and Nico Crenshaw and the boys back together. He actually did say on TalkSport this morning that he was available, that Daniel Levy phoned him last week and said if he was in charge, he would have brought him in. Is there any chance? We've got a board that seemingly are willing to listen to, you know, ideas of people that are no longer at the football club. Yeah. They did it with Paratici and Igor Tudor. Lubo, is there any chance that Harry Redknapp might be at the football club by the end of the season? Absolutely fantastic.
Well, I've got to say that this board have not got a clue. They just, you know, you think if there was someone on the board with any football nous, they'd say, do you know what? These players are on their knees. They need not tough love, which is what Tudor thought he'd come in and give them. They need someone to put their arm to put his arm around them and say, you are the dogs. Get out and show us. Come on, you're all pretty much internationals. Go out and play the way you can play. But there's no one at the club, is there? Lang's going on about Tudor. Him and Vinay weren't even consulted about the appointments. What does he know? Clueless. The whole thing's clueless. And it's, as I said the other week, you got a company that's worth 3 billion conservatively. Not one expert who knows about the core business on the board. What a shambles! What an absolute shambles! You know, and it's gone from one disaster under Levy to probably a slightly bigger disaster now, because at least Levy made a decision. He got it wrong most of the time, but he made a decision. This lot don't even make a decision. They sit there on their backsides and just do nothing. And I think it was Viv's son-in-law who actually pulled the plug on Frank, because Lang and Vinay were prepared to see it out to the end of the season. And
not according to reports that came out yesterday, which I have to we're going to bring up in a moment. So I just want to sorry to cut you off, Lubo, because I do want to get to this media PR spin is the next segment of the show. So I do want to.
Can I just add one more?
You in that one? Go on, go on, Johnny.
No, I was just going to say one more thing, right? I think the whole issue here is we saw under Ange Postecoglou, whether you're an Ange fan or you're not an Ange fan, Ange's system was quite complicated in the sense that his system was vastly different to everybody else's. But when he turned to a more simplistic plan, like we saw in Frankfurt and what we saw in the games against Bodo and in the final, it worked. When we got Frank in, Frank's system was complicated. The players didn't get to it. And this guy's come in and he's changed the system yet again, right? I think, we just need to get back to basics, basic football. Like, don't overcomplicate the game. We need an 8 in an 8, a 10 in a 10, and play the players in the right place. Exactly what Stel was saying before. I couldn't believe that starting lineup. It doesn't make sense. What we have, put your best player in his best position and let's continue that the rest of the season and go down fighting like that. If you're going to try and get creative and try and do fancy shit now, is not the time. Square pegs, square holes, or round pegs, round holes. All this complicated shit hasn't worked. It didn't work for Ange in the league. It didn't work for Frank in the league. And it's certainly not working for this guy. And unless we get back to those basics, and that's why if we need to bring in a coach that's just going to tell him, go out and play. You can do it. But you're going to be playing where you're supposed to be playing. And let's keep it simple. And that's the only way I feel we got a chance of getting out of this crap.
All right, listen, I want to move the conversation slightly forward, guys, towards on Lubas. I did want us to come back to you because I did cut you off there, but I want to give you the first crack at this one. Then I'll come to Sarah. The PR spin around the football club, and whoever's doing the clips tonight, by the way, what are you laughing at still?
You blinked twice.
Someone told me in the chat to blink twice if I've been kidnapped, so I blinked twice.
Oh yeah. Hey, you are.
That's what I'm laughing.
He's in Iran now.
Sarah spotted it. That's why I started laughing.
Fantastic. There is a hell of a lot of PR that's coming out at the moment, Lubo. From the stories around the players don't trust Igor Tudor, to the noise. This is the one I want to start with. I'm trying to find the article, but it came out from Matt Law yesterday. And it was about the idea of Vinay and Johan Lang that have the tough decision on whether to stick or twist with Igor Tudor. And this, I found it here, right? This is completely alien to what we have seen, what we've been hearing in the press conference. Sorry, from around the relevant sources around Twitter, people like Paul O'Keefe, people that we know, Lubo, Johnny and I know. We've been speaking about this a lot. People that were in the chairman's box after the game when Thomas Frank got sacked, where we were told, everyone thought it was almost settled science, almost like a known fact that it wasn't Johan Lang and it wasn't Vinay that got sacked. That had the decision listened to regarding Thomas Frank. They wanted to keep him in place, and it was actually, like you alluded to just then, Matt Butcher and Collicott via Joe Lewis, who actually overruled the ideas of the footballing people, which was an absolute embarrassment for those guys. And that those people that are non-footballing people then went and spoke to Paratici after his left, and Paratici leaving in the exit interview saying as much as, my ideas weren't listened to. I want to work with a club that's got better ambitions from the ownership and where my ideas are listened to. So a little bit of a shot in the dark, a little bit of a punch, like a rabbit punch from him towards people like Vinay and Johan Lang. That was it. That's been the story for the last couple of months. All of a sudden, Matt Snore, who never has anything nice to say about Tottenham Hotspur, but is clearly, as far as I can see, if you've got 2 ears and 2 eyes and a couple of brain cells, then you know that this guy gets fed stories by the club from a PR spin. We do have a new communications person, a new lady from ex-Arsenal, I think she is, who's come in. I think she tries to pull the wool over people's eyes. I think the whole PR disaster that has become the new majority owners is so transparent.
Another Guna.
Yeah. And in
Kate
this
Miller.
Kate Miller, that's it. Thank you. In this article, 2 and 3, it literally tells a whole nother story that leaves Vinay Venkateshan, chief executive, and Johan Lang. Is it on the screen, by the way? It is, yeah.
Yeah.
The sporting director who were responsible. So here you go. That leaves Vinay and Johan Lang, the sporting director, who were responsible for appointing Tudor, again, completely alien to what we've heard in the past, having to decide whether to sack either side of Sunday's trip to Liverpool and potentially put their own positions under threat. Next paragraph. Just as they recommended the sacking of Thomas Frank and temporary appointment of Tudor to the club's Lewis family owners, it will come down to Vinay and Lang to recommend whether to change head coach again, but the pair are facing scrutiny over the decision-making. Like, to me, that two paragraphs, it's so obviously a planted story. It's so transparent to me. It's not even funny, Lubo, that has come from the club saying, can you please put this out there? Because there is this notion in the zeitgeist around Tottenham fans that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and that the non-footballing people are making decisions on football, overruling the footballing people, and essentially that the tail is wagging the dog. At the same time as you're seeing constant examples of players that are disrespecting management. Lubo, do you think that this is true? This article is true, that it was Vinay and it was Lang that sacked Thomas Frank, and it was them that went and got Igor Tudor? Or do you think this is bullshit PR? And if so, which one is worse? Which example looks better and worse for the actual the sustainability of Vinay and Lang as a going concern as our footballing decision makers?
Okay, just very quickly with bullet points. One, this is bullshit. It's been widely reported that that Nick Boucher got involved in the sacking of Frank. It's been widely reported that Vinay and Lang wanted Frank to stay to the end of the season. And this rubbish that they're putting out, very simple. It's so transparent, you can see straight through it. The board are feeling a little bit of pressure, particularly with social media, and they want to distance themselves, and they are setting up Lang and Vinay for a fall. Very simple. They don't want to take the blame for it, and they're setting those two up for a fall, because at the end of the day, those two have done a horrendous job at this club, a dreadful job. I mean, when Vinay first came in, he started communicating with the fans, and after 25 years of having a chairman that didn't like communication, didn't feel comfortable communicating, in fairness, and Donna Cullen, for me, sorry, she was just a Levy acolyte, and she didn't particularly care about the fans either. It was a breath of fresh air initially to see Vinay actually addressing fans and talking to the fans. But the first major decision he had was when Paratici came back, and he makes him and Lang joint director of football. You can't have two joint director of footballs. You've got to have one. It should have been Paratici has the contacts and the network for the first team, and Lang for bringing through the kids and bringing through potential. It wasn't that way. From what I was told, Vinay took Lang and Frank's side relating to players in front of Paratici, and Paratici just said, what am I doing here if you're not going to listen to me? As he basically said in his interview when he talked about going to a club that treats his opinion seriously. It's just crap. They're just setting those two up for a fall. Listen, nothing will change till the owners change. I think we can all see this. We need people who know what they're doing. These guys have got to sell. They've got to sell. They are killing. ENIC have killed. They've virtually killed our club over 25 years. It's been absolutely horrendous. I was on a show last night having a chat with Joel. We were talking about the old days when we were a proper football club. We haven't behaved like a big football club for, literally since Venables left in '93. And it's a shame, because this was a wonderful club when I was growing up, and we can't even get a player from Bournemouth these days. We're way down the pecking order, and this is what we've become. So, Lang and Vinay on a micro basis have been absolutely shocking. They should go in the summer. They shouldn't be anywhere near our club. They're not fit for purpose, and the owners haven't got a Scooby-Doo, and they should sell, take their profit, and just go. Because I'll tell you something, if we drop this year, we could go into free fall because there is nobody at the club with the football knowledge to stop
scaremongering.
Stop the fall.
Scaremongering. Delegation time. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't scaremonger. Don't scaremonger.
Yeah. I wonder whether you would still be smiling if we were in the position Leicester are in now still.
We are a different animal to Leicester. Different animal to Leicester.
He absolutely would, because he'd be able to say, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so.
Here we go. Here's the politics now. Let's go. Come on, let's get...
No, we'll say that. Let's keep to the track, keep to the script. Sarah, let me bring you in on this one next. That's not the only article that's come out in the last few days. I know you mentioned before the stream. I haven't quite got it up yet. I've just found it though. I'm going to look through it before we get to that one. But there was another article that came out also from this one is from the Athletic today, from Jay Harris. I think he's ex-Daily Mail, Jay Harris. So, if this is a PR spin, then they're utilizing the trusted sources in the media, the people that seem to have a little bit more of the kind of the trust of the football fans, and they're trying to spin this narrative that maybe the players now have disrepute. Again, it's a lot of like distractions from the leadership, distractions from the ownership stuff, and they're talking about the fact that there is a player amongst us. This is why I named the stream "Rats on the Spurs Boat." There's at least one player on the training ground who doesn't care if we, just like Stelios. In fact, maybe not quite as bad. Stelios is actively encouraging relegation, but as a player, a paid employee of the football club, to not care whether we go down because they're going to get themselves a better gig anyway at the end of the season. Again, do you believe that? Do you believe it's true? Do you believe if you do believe it's true, do you believe it's just one player? I mean, and also, like, let's just chew through the kind of optics of it. If a journalist has got hold of that story as verbatim truth, then not only is there a rat, but there's also a snitch, because whoever that rat is who says that he doesn't care if we go down, well, he's told another player, and that player has told someone, and that story has then got to a journalist. So if it's true, it doesn't look good. Well, what do you make of that whole shit show?
Well, it's all a shit show, isn't it? the whole of Spurs. There's not one player in the dressing room. It's everyone. It's from top to bottom. I don't know whether it's true or not. I mean, I guess the only thing that would support it being true, in my mind, would be the fact that the players want to retain some kind of credibility or some kind of resale value, by starting to look now and getting other clubs to bid for them. That's kind of the perspective that you look through to say, okay, well, yeah, if it was true, maybe the reason why they did it is because they were looking for a move, and so they wanted another club to come in, because that's what happens now, in terms of bidding wars and buying players. A lot of it happens in the public sphere. A lot of it obviously is behind closed doors. It depends from player to player. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, I don't know who of our players are signed under some very big agencies. I don't know if that makes a difference at all, but yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't think any of the players are happy campers right now. I think they'd probably all give up for the rest of the season. We saw the quotes from Mickey van der Ven as well. I think it's just so much pressure at some point. It's a breaking point, and this is why we're seeing a structural collapse, because it is a lot of heat. Look, I know these players earn a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they still have to go out there and they still have to play, and it is a lot of pressure. So I don't know. Maybe they are coming out and saying that they're not happy. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised. And also, if I was
not being happy, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, if I was the players as well, I'd also be fed up with the whole manager merry-go-round. I mean, look at Romero. How many managers has he been under since he's been here? Like 4 or 5 managers. Dragusin's been here, a couple of years? He's had 3 managers. Danso's been here a year. He's about to go on to his 3rd manager. So every other week they're playing a different system. So I'd be fed up of that as well, because I'd be like, well, I came here, I'm playing as goalkeeper, I'm playing as striker, and now you're playing me as centre-back, So I think I'd be sick and tired of the situation as well. So from some respects, I don't really blame them if it is true in some ways,
I'm sure a lot of them are thinking it, but to come out and say it, to be talking about it, I don't care if we go down because I'm not going to be on this sinking ship in 3 months' time. Is that more problematic than it sounds?
Yeah,
or is it just a natural thing?
stuff gets twisted. Stuff gets twisted as well. I don't. Look, we're never going to know. None of us have heard any of the players say it.
No.
In the same way that none of us have heard that Pochettino said he's coming back if we get relegated. We're all just assuming it and speculating. So at the end of the day, I would imagine that the players just aren't happy. If I was a player in that dressing room, I would be frustrated because I'd be like, this is what happened to us last year. And now we're just doing the same thing again. And they can all see it coming. They can all see that Tudor is going to get sacked. Even if they were all playing for him, the fact that he's come in to save the day and he hasn't managed to do it. And in fact, what was it? Arsenal 1-0 at half time. Fulham was 2-0 at half time. Palace was 3-0 at half time. Madrid was 4-0 at half time. I'd be like, all right, Liverpool's 5-0 at half time. I'm done. I'm out. Send the press release. Save my CV, save my career, because that's what it is. This is going to be on all of their careers. This is going to be all on their CVs, right? They're all part of it, whether they think they're better than the club or not. They're still part of a team that is going down the pad. So they can blame it on the manager. They can blame it on the club, but they're still responsible. So it could be, I don't know. I'm just saying from the outside, maybe it's a ploy to that, to save their reputation in some kind of way, to blame it on the club. Look, Romero's done the same thing. Romero came out, he said it was a disgrace. He said the same thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of his behaviour is what set the precedent for the rest of the players beneath him in the pecking order to feel that they can act in a certain impetuous way. For me personally, Johnny, let me big up you. So let me bring you on this one, mate. Is it a nothing burger of a story then? It's coming from the Athletic, right? Which again, I wonder whether like Athletic, they're supposed to be journalistically they have some integrity. They're supposed to be the people that people trust. But a lot of these stories recently around Tottenham seem to be of a certain narrative without much in the way of substance, without much in the way of evidence. To Sarah's point, we don't know. We're just supposed to believe, there's at least one player in the club who's speaking about it. It could just be nothing burger. And as Lubo pointed out earlier on the previous show, you look at today's headlines in the Daily Mail, and there was no scathing report on Chelsea. There was no scathing report on Manchester City, but page 4 or 5 pages in, I mean, that's the most scathing report ever. Is it just journalistic pylon as an opportunity?
Well, look, the thing is, right? I don't know why anyone's surprised at any of this crap, really. I mean, what do journalists need? They need news, right? We are a rotting carcass lying there, and the vultures are gathering, and they're pecking at us and using any scrap they can use to further enhance the demise of the club. What a fantastic story. The demise of a once great club. What a fantastic story. You can have the story about Bodo Glimt with 54,000 people only and that glory, or you can have the flip side of that, the demise of a once great club. And they are doing everything. Everyone's joining in. We are not immune to it. We are the club that keeps giving. If there's, just when you think it wasn't bad enough what was going on the pitch, we get a goalkeeper that's taken off after 14 minutes. We have players fighting. I was at Bournemouth, and Brentford. Bournemouth fighting they want to have a fight with the fans. How about fighting with the bloody players on the pitch? How about that? Look, we know for a fact that 3 of the players are checked out anyway. So they could easily be talking about that. One of them is in the dressing room saying, I'm going anyway. That could be Paulinho. That could be Kolo Muani, which could easily be, if I was going to bet on anyone, it would be him. And then there's Mr. Balloon himself on a balloon contract, Mr. Basuma, right? So any one of those 3 there could be the one that's talking to the press because they don't give a shit because they're on their way out. And the others, self-preservation. I got to tell you, that challenge by Mickey van der Ven was almost like, I want to be out of here, right? It was an idiotic challenge. And this is a guy who got sent off last week. And I told you, Sean, on the show the other day, I was lucky to be in the Tunnel Club, and I saw him come down that tunnel, and all the players are, shaking hands with the little ball boys and the mascots. He's come out with a mouthful of water and gobbed it on the floor right in front of the kids with a miserable face. He's gone out there There's no passion. You know, when they pan across all of the players in the line and they get to the captain at the end and the music stops and the captain turns around and say, "Come on, guys, let's do it." There's none of it. It's dead. The guy walked down the tunnel, couldn't give a shit, and it's a malaise. And you know, as Sarah said, a lot of these people have already checked out. But if they honestly think that going down will assist them in their careers, yes, it will assist them going out. But it's doing Spurs no favours, because it will be harder for Spurs to justify a price. I'm not saying it won't be difficult for them to sell, but it will be hard to justify a price of a player they're only paying 60 grand a week, who hasn't signed a new contract, and say, "I want 100 million." Well, hang on a minute, the guy's just got relegated.
Yeah, but Johnny,
right?
does relegation really act as a stain on any player's career if they leave the football club?
Well,
James Madison, who was it who said it earlier? Hugo said it earlier on my channel. James Madison got relegated and we signed him, right?
Well, that was a good signing, wasn't it?
No, that's what but I mean is like no one remembers. Like no one remembers that James Madison, or very few people remember that James Madison was a player that was in the Leicester team that got relegated. And there's lots of other examples, right? But on top of that, by the way, let's not forget that Tottenham Hotspur will be a figment of people's imagination who don't support Tottenham. There'll be a distant memory by about September the 2nd. Right? No one gives a shit. No, who's talking about Leicester City? Leicester City won the Premier League 8 years ago. No one even cares the fact that they're in the relegation zone in the Championship.
Well, if we get relegated, there's not going to be one top club, coach, scout, anyone that looks at Van der Ven and Romero and says, "You're shit because you got relegated." They're not going to look at it that way.
That's my point. So it doesn't.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, I didn't say they would say they're going to look at them.
No, Sean was asking the question, Johnny. He was asking you the question. He wasn't. Yeah.
No. I'm not saying they're going to be shit. What I'm saying is Spurs are going to struggle to justify when you're paying a player. Right. So he hasn't signed a new contract. I'm going for Mickey Van der Ven first and foremost. He's not probably the best example, but Mickey's refusal to sign a new contract, and he's on not a lot of money, would mean that it'd be hard to justify that fee with someone who's being paid so little. Cuti Romero. It'd
be great for someone. If someone in the chat can quickly look up what is the highest paid fee for any relegated player. If anyone in the chat can look that up, that would be an awesome statistic.
Look, I just think,
how much do we pay for James Madison, Johnny?
30
odd million, something like that.
Do you think that price was lower because they were relegated?
Well, it was lower, but also,
yes.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, I didn't think that James Madison was going to survive and be a player for Spurs because I thought he was injury prone. But that's completely another story. Look, for me, the body language. I'll tell you what really pissed me off. I mean, there's been a lot of things that pissed me off, but 2-0 down at Fulham. The body language. Bear in mind how early it was in the game. You were there, Lubo, right? The heads were down. There was no one going, "Come on, guys!" It was early in the game. They were defeated. They were beaten mentally. They were gone. And when I watched Xavi Simons walk past me, I was like row 4. I hate being that low. It was like row 4. He's walking past and he's blanked the fans.
Yeah,
mate. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Right? I'm not. I've got no interest in it. These players have no love for the club. There's no love for the badge. There's none of it. And it starts from the top. No one in this club understands the club and loves the club like the fans do. I just don't think there's anything there. It's a business now. Anyone who was last there, when I saw the other day, people like Ozzy Ardiles, people like Pat Jennings and Mickey Hazard and these guys, right? These old school people, they care about the club. They care. You speak to them, they care about what has gone on in this club. No one else does. These current crop of players, they're checked out. They finished 17th last year, 22 defeats. This is not a surprise.
But why would you love the club?
Understand,
Johnny? Why would you
think that this is a shock?
Why would, if you're a player at Spurs right now, why would you love this club? What is there to love when the only player that truly they're not here for us. Why would you?
I know, but they're
Let's
receiving
use
so
that.
many death threats. They're receiving
Guys,
so
Harry
many
Kane,
death threats.
Harry Kane was one
It's
of
sad.
our own, right? He lived, eat, breathed, drank Tottenham. From 10 years old to break into the first team, he was, you could say, Mr. Tottenham for his time at Spurs, right? He loved the club and he left. So if the guy that loves the club left, what do you think the other players are thinking? If we're letting him go because we don't want to build a team around him or add some value.
Well, that's the owners. That's the owners.
Yeah,
That's
Johnny,
the owners, right?
exactly. So what I'm saying to you is,
but not the fans.
I don't disagree that the owners are the problem, but what I'm saying is, forget me, who's a Spurs fan. If I was a professional football player, what is there to love about Tottenham? Realistically, what is there to love right now about this club? There's not much. So
listen, I'm not going to feel sorry for these. Yeah, but I just like this thing.
I'm not asking you to feel sorry. I'm just saying, because you talk about they don't love the club. I think they've got a reason not to love the club. Just because we pay their wages, it doesn't mean they love us. They love Tottenham.
They got to have some look, Sarah.
There's a responsibility to throw more passion in than the average person does for their job, though. Yeah, because you're working in an environment where passions are high.
Sean, the fans right now hate the owners. The fans right now hate Tottenham. So what do we expect the players to do? Love it when we hate it? They feel like we do. They don't like it here either.
But we don't hate the club, right? Lubo and I got on that plane.
No, we hate what's going on at the club with the owners.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got on that
plane. So do they.
Because we have belief. That's all we have. The dream, the belief, the hope, right? It's the hope that one day something will change, right? That's why we got on
Johnny,
the plane.
I think the owners I think the players hate the owners as well, Johnny. I think the owners feel how we...
I agree.
We've got massively off the topic here. The initial topic was whether or not there's a PR spin going on in the football club.
Yeah, but
got off on a fucking wild tangent, and now we're about to get into a debate about something that was never part of the discussion.
Sean,
but it's like crack on.
The PR spin is about the board trying to deflect from the real problem themselves.
Sure.
And push it onto the players.
Do you believe that's happening, Johnny?
Yes, I do. And what Sarah was about to say, and I get your point, that there is a moronic faction in every fan base. We see that all the time, who send them death threats and send, I hope your dog dies, I hope your wife gets the plague, all this sort of idiotic stuff. There'll always be that element, even when you're winning, right, and doing well. The one time they have a bad game, some idiot will send the stuff. But come on, there should be coaching through the academy about how to deal with social media, how to switch off. Look, as us on social media, you're new to it, Sarah, but I can tell you that Sean,
I've seen it on my channel. Don't worry, I've seen it on my channel.
But no, I mean, we see some serious.
But I read it differently. Right? I read it differently. I think that Mickey does care. I think they do care, and I think what's happened is that because we've got no system and because we've got no structure and because we're changing everything every game and the tactics are all so different and no one knows what the hell they're doing and they're running around the pitch like headless chickens. Everyone's in a different position. No one's covering their space. They're becoming so desperate that they are literally running for the same balls and giving each other concussion. They have literally become that desperate that they're sliding into challenges and they're not keeping control of their heads or the game. And then obviously as a result of that, it's this vicious cycle we go through every 90 minutes when we watch a game, because I go to the games as well and we all sit there and I'm with you. We sit there at the beginning of the game. We're filled with hope. We're all excited. And then we concede 2 goals and we're like, right, that's it. Everyone boos and halftime comes. And it's that vicious cycle every week. And until we break that cycle, it's going to be the same thing. And it's partly mental, but it's partly performance.
It's a cop-out, though. It's a cop-out, though. It's a cop-out, Sarah, that...
they're still human. They're still human.
Yeah, they're human, but they're expected, they are expected to perform. If I'm paid £1 million a year to perform as the CEO of a company and I don't perform, people are entitled to challenge my performance and say, you're not doing it. I mean, Mickey van der Ven,
that's true.
I can tell you the usual. We have to stick together quotes. But to tell you the truth, what we are going through right now is horrific. Mentally, I'm low. I'm done with it. I don't touch my phone anymore. I only see my family and that's it. Now, I thought that was bullshit, okay? But I've seen it now in 4 or 5 big accounts, Okay. Do we give less credit to that and more credit to Matt Laws? Do we give no credit to any of these? What we do know, though, there is no smoke without fire. And I believe that these players are quite happy to go and moan to the press.
These journalists are bullshitters, man. They're bullshitters.
As well.
They're all bullshitters. I've said it for time.
But
Johnny,
for
me...
They got to take the
Johnny,
crap.
right, hold on a second. Right, put my coach's hat on now. Right, forget my Spurs support. Right, if I had a group of players that had just won a European final, forget who won it, who was the reason behind it. Just put that to one side. If you've got a group of players that have just won a European final in a difficult season, there's a bond, there's a togetherness, there's a real, you know what? Yeah, the energy is high, the passion is high. Maybe we kind of like Tottenham. This is, and they see 250,000 fans in the high street. Fucking hell, I'm so glad I'm at Tottenham. What did we do with that? We threw a grenade into the pit, blew it up. If you're going to blow it up, bring in Jurgen Klopp. Bring in someone that wows the pants off of them. We brought in Frank, the pragmatic defensive coach that didn't quite win them over. So now they're thinking, we've gone from that to this, and it began to unsettle things a bit. Then, when the wheels fell off, we bring in Tudor to give them a bollocking and tell them they're all shit. Mate, these players are on the floor because of decisions we've made regarding their coaching and regarding the way we keep chopping and changing. They are shot to pieces mentally because we've put it on them. And then we're saying, you still got to perform, you still got to perform. Yeah, you still got to perform to a point. But we've also got to consider what we've thrown at them this season unfairly.
I'm not having this.
On top of that, when the team was on their knees, completely on their knees, what did Lange do to help them in January? Nothing. He didn't help them one second bit. So these players, of course, they're where they are mentally.
Hang on.
We are
all of these players that are all jumping
on. That was my coach's hat, not my Spurs supporters hat on then.
Okay.
I agree with that hat.
Okay, let me put my professional hat on for a second. Right, I worked in an industry.
Professional
for 8
what?
years.
Professional banker. Professional.
Yeah. When I was a professional banker.
Easy now. He's a nice guy, Sean.
Absolute banker with a W. When I was a professional banker, I had to go out every bloody night of the week, right? I was a young guy up and coming, and I was a little bit more senior than most others. And all the older boys, all the older guys that had done their time out with the clients, they didn't want to go out. They didn't want to go out. I had to go out. And if the client had a day off the next day and he wanted to go to the strip club until 3 o'clock in the morning, I was the guy who had to take him there. And I had to be up at 5 o'clock for work the next day. And if I didn't turn up, if I called in sick, cardinal sin. Absolutely unforgivable. You don't do that. You go out, you play the game, you have to do what you've got to do, and you get to work. And if you fuck up when you're at work, that's also unforgivable. There are no conditions where it's okay to not be there, and there's no conditions where it's okay to piss around or to fuck up when you're there because you're exhausted. But that's the life that you signed up for. That's the game. That's why you got paid the money. That's why you got to wear the suit. That's why you got to do the thing. Those are the terms of the trade. You either get on board it or it's not for you. Okay.
Sure.
Hang on a second. The amount of times that I was like, I can't.
That's an unfair comparison. What you've done.
It's not an unfair. These are fucking football.
Let him finish.
You know. It's just like us. We all sign up to being content creators. We don't get paid big bucks. But if you want people to watch you, you have to be willing to have opinions.
You go, then I'll go. You go, then I'll go.
Just let me finish my rant. Just let me finish my rant because I haven't said a lot. Let me finish my rant, and then you can.
Sorry, rant.
Okay. There are terms of the trade. Whatever you do, whatever you fucking want to do, right? If you're a gardener and you're out there mowing someone's lawn and you don't put eye goggles on and a stone flicks up and blinds you, that's the risk, right? If you sit on an oil rig, you get paid a lot of money, it's high risk. Those are the things that you do. You all make decisions in life. These guys want to be professional footballers. They all want to get paid the big bucks. They want to drive Ferraris. They want to shag the best looking birds. They want to live in a lovely house. Unfortunately, with that comes the pressure. If you don't perform, you're going to get people giving you shit. If it's not for you, then piss off. I'm sorry. It's not different for anybody else. It's just on a different set of terms. There is a social contract with everything you do in life. I have
100%.
absolutely no sympathy for people that sit there and tell me Thomas Frank wasn't for me. He's an arsehole. I'm going to lower my standards. We're going to get him sacked because it's always easier to sack the manager than the players. The next geezer comes in. He didn't shake my hand when I came off the pitch, so I'm going to go and mock him because I don't want him either. I want it all my way. I want the big bucks. I want to fuck the good-looking bird. I want the nice house. And I also don't want any fucking resentment from anybody who spends every last penny they have supporting the team. Like Johnny and Lubo overseas, or like so
Most
many
of the
people
players
watching.
are married with kids.
I haven't finished my rant. I'm almost done. Just give me a second. Like, there are terms to the contract. There are terms of the trade. And if it's not for you, then piss off. I don't want to hear any wet fucking
100%.
blankets who think that the rules don't apply to them because they want all the
not
good
black
and
and
none of the
white
bad.
like that,
They
bro.
they can piss right off if that's their thought processes.
And it comes
That's why
with-
you're not a coach. That's
Still.
why you're not a coach and you're a ruthless banker.
Still.
That's
Just
what
to
you
we're not
say,
talking
just
about
to say,
It comes with
I
responsibility.
never
say-
called in sick,
That's
Stel.
why he's
I
not a
never
coach.
called in sick. I never called in sick, and I never got sacked as a consequence.
before you go off
You would have
topic,
called in sick, Stel. You would have
Let
called in
Sarah
sick
speak.
and then cried
Sarah, go
boo-boo
on.
when you got fired.
One line.
No,
All
just
this
say-
stuff.
Sarah, go on.
just before you go off topic, but everything you've just said, Sean, is exactly the reason why the article came out about the rat in the camp that they're not happy. That's it. You've literally just summarized why they would want that kind of news piece to come out. That's
Why?
it.
Because I'm going after the
everything you
players.
just said.
I didn't need the article
No,
to
because
come out for me to
they're
call these
absolving
players.
themselves. They're absolving themselves from any responsibility. As in, like, you blame it on the manager and you blame it on the camp and you blame it on everything else.
And the
That's exactly
fans.
what the article
Blame
was.
everyone.
That's what the article was,
But
right?
the article, the reason I brought the article up was because I'm not sure whether it actually happened or if it is happening. How does that shit get out there?
But I'm
Is it a
saying,
PR
but I'm saying the reasons that you've just said are literally reinforce why people could speculate that article is true, right?
But the one thing that's missing here, Sarah, is that with the big bucks and with all the glamour comes responsibility. And not all of these players. Archie's a good boy, amongst others. Gallagher, Paulinia. There are players out there. And happy birthday to Archie, by the way. There are players in the squad who do their stuff.
Happy
Half of
birthday
them-
now, piss off.
Half of them, no, he's going to be our captain next year, Sarah. You watch.
Yeah, I can't
He's got
wait.
his picture, Sarah. You don't
Can't
know he's
wait.
got his picture on the wall of his toilet, his bedroom. His
Can't
wedding
wait.
photos
We'll get
are
his
down.
brother in. We'll get Archie's brother in next year as well.
Sean,
Yeah.
when you had
Yeah,
that job
I think-
as an investment banker, right? You had a position in that company. You went for that position, and that's the job that you worked in. They didn't say 6 months later, by the way, we're pulling you out of that, and you're going to go into mergers and acquisitions. And then 6 months later, we're going to pull you out of that, and you're going to go and work in the accounts department. At Spurs, right? When you talked about us as content
It
creators.
didn't say on
I
my
signed
job
up-
description that I'll be going to strip
One
clubs until
second,
3
one
o'clock in the
second.
morning.
It's my rant. It's my rant
Okay,
now.
go on,
Right?
fair enough,
When
fair
I
enough.
signed up to be a Spurs content creator, I never signed up to go and do Arsenal podcasts or to go and do Man United. No, I did Spurs. At Tottenham, our players come in. 1 minute they're playing attacking, then they're playing defending, then they're playing clueless. Then the right back's told you're going to play centre back. The left back's told he's going to play right back. The attacker's told he's going to play centre mid. Mate, the working
That's
environment.
the variables of the job still.
That's not what they signed up to, Sean. If I'm a centre back, I don't want to play up front. If I'm a centre mid, don't play me out wide like Gallagher. Because we've done shows where we've criticised the managers for playing the players out of position. No one moved you out of your position in your company.
Yeah, of course they did. When I signed up to be a
Oh, there you
trader,
go.
no,
Oh, there
hang
you
on a
go.
second. Well, no. That's like saying a gardener becomes a gardener in the summer, and all of a sudden in September it's pissing with rain. Fuck that! I didn't sign up for this. You've still got to get
No,
paid.
he's
Get
still
out there and mow
gardening,
the fucking
Sean.
garden.
He's still gardening. The point
The
is,
variables
if I-
that check the
if I got
environment
signed-
has changed.
Sean, the players are the way they are because of the way they've been managed and by the lack of support they've been given as a collective, bro. Is that a reason for them to down tools? No, but you know what? They're so fed up. Maybe they're engineering a way out because
They're
they
just
don't
jaded
want this
with
anymore.
They need to
everything.
strap on a fucking pair and realize that it's not because of other things that they are part of the problem, right? They're the 11 people, the 25 people that are kicking the ball. They are the people that doing that. And
imagine, Sean, imagine you go away to Atletico Madrid.
It's those donuts in the suits. They can sit there and go, you know what? You're right. The fans think that. Romero's going to come out and blame them. He's the captain. He sets the precedent for the rest of them. The rest of them can just ignore the demands of the managers. It's not as if are we saying that the 15 people on the squad or the 18 people on the squad are not responsible? Because they look, to me, they're doing this. They're doing this.
Sure, no, hold on. No, bro. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, can we factor in what they have been subjected to constantly in this club? We went into a Champions League knockout stage game. If I'm Romero or Van der Ven, in that game, I'm thinking, I want Paulinho in front of me. I want freaking Paulinho in front of me. He's on the bench so that Archie Gray and Pape Sarr can play there. I'm thinking, to hell with this, man. What are we doing? And then when we get the ball up top, we actually created space against Atletico. They gave us space. And you know what? The attacking mid that actually is quite decent when given space is on the bench. So again, if I'm Romero and Van der Ven, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I at this club for? If they can't even do the basics right. Arsenal wouldn't do that. Chelsea wouldn't do that. United wouldn't do that. But come to Tottenham,
no player's ever been asked to play out of position for anybody else apart from Tottenham Hotspur.
Problem is, we've played every player in every position, and no position works for anyone. That's the problem. That's the problem we've got. We've got a team of mediocre players. We've just got a team of bang average.
Have we got a team of mediocre? Have we?
Yes.
Have we? What, Mickey Van der Ven won't go to a better club than Tottenham when he leaves. Christian Romero won't go to a better club than Tottenham when he leaves.
Doesn't mean he's good.
Pedro Porro. Most of the players in this football club that are going to leave if we get relegated, I can't think of a single one that will end up going to a team that is worse than Tottenham.
No, they won't go worse.
Who would you keep? Who would you keep?
Porro, playing Porro at centre back, right, is criminal. Playing
exactly. So if you're Van der Ven playing next to Porro at centre back, you're thinking, Sean, you said you don't do the you because Johnny gets upset. You said. Right? You said, right, on your show, you had to go at me and Lubo for blaming Enoch and Levy, and your response to us was, it's this, it's that, it's the whole collective, everything. Right? So if you're in a player in an environment where everything around you stinks, mate, what kind of an environment is that for our players?
I'm not saying it's a great environment, but like you're like fucking man up. Have you never worked in an organisation where you've got a shitty boss or the company on its knees?
Sean, I left the company. I left. I refuse to work for them anymore.
If you have another job that you can go to tomorrow, great. But these guys don't. So whilst you're here, fucking fix up.
Sean,
You're part of
but they can go to another club.
They're going,
but you've just said that they need a manager who's nice. You've just said they need a manager who's going to give them some love.
Who said that?
You did at the beginning.
I didn't say that. No. I asked what the question was. I haven't given an answer. I said, what is the solution? Because we've gone through the heart. We've gone through the heart.
I did as well. We need Harry Redknapp. It all comes back, whichever way you cut the cake, all comes back to we need new owners with a 7-point manifesto and get this club back on its feet. End of. Stop. End of, mate.
Listen, don't do it. It's not fair on Sarah. She doesn't deserve this. We don't deserve it. Actually, we don't deserve it.
All right, listen, it's a great point. It's a great point to pause. We've got some super chats we've got to do. I haven't done them yet, guys. There's 1,300 people watching. Smash the like. Big up to you all for doing it. Appreciate everyone for watching. Of course, there's going to be some spice and some fire on a Thursday night. That's what we do. Please don't forget to get over to at Spurs from the Stands. Sarah, how many subs have you got?
Spurs from the Stands is the channel.
Yeah, at Spurs from the Stands. Yeah,
I thought it was Sarah from the Stands. I think we're on about just over 3,000. I don't know, but just about 3,400. I think.
Very good.
Very good.
And just to say, the campaign that I started this evening, if anyone that finds it after, we're almost at 100 emails. So.
Very good. We'll give you a chance to mention that towards the end, guys. If one of the mods can put Sarah's channel in there, then we'll try and get at least another 100 subscribers tonight, guys. Don't forget to smash the sub and get over to get over to Football Inc. Get over to Mr. Stelios on Spurs. Get over to Spurs Talk Show. Get over to Lubo_69 at Twitter as well.
61, 61, not 61.
61. Sorry. 67. Get over to everyone and let's get some super chats done, and then we're going to move into the next segment of the show. Big up to Ulrika Ratatata, Ulrika Kaka. Thank you very much indeed for the first super sticker of
Dry
the
your
night.
bits. Dry your bits.
Get out of the shower, dry your bits, pour yourself a G&T. We got Tottenham to talk about. Choo choo to you. Choo choo to you. Thank you very much indeed. Also, Coy's Hull. Big up to you, my man. How you doing? Thank you very much indeed for that super sticker as well. Choo choo to you. Choo choo to you. Ledley's Knees has said, Matt Law just tweeted, Vinay said no refunds. No refunds. However, as a gesture, each away fan will receive a piece of Atletico Madrid's turf as a memento.
How much are they going to charge for that, do you reckon?
Yeah. You can have the grass for free, but the box to put it in will be $19.99.
Yeah. So,
but we'll give you a discount code.
Plus
big up to you.
postage.
Yeah, only for members only. Members only. Big up to you, Ledley. Big up to you, Ledley. Thank you very much indeed. Rob Brown, member for 16 months. I don't think we've been going that long, so you must also be a legacy Henry Wright member. Big up to you, Rob Brown. Thank you very much. He says no to Redknapp. It'd be absolutely fantastic if I could win your vote. He said these players don't know what he's done for us. Why would they respect him? Why not Hassel-Hüttl, Solskjaer, or Davies as player manager?
Solskjaer? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Really?
Oh, it's someone that understands the club.
Absolutely.
I don't think the point is that they need to know Redknapp. It's the point that Redknapp knows what he's doing. That's the point, isn't it? We need a manager that knows what to do, not whether the players know the manager.
When was the last time it's been 10 years.
I was just going to say, Harry's looking to manage the club from Cheltenham Racecourse at them.
Absolutely. I got some money on the 4 o'clock at Cheltenham tomorrow, the Gold Cup. And then after that, I'm ready. Me and Sandra come down with some bread jam roly-polies. It'd be absolutely fantastic.
If Dinamo Zagreb's manager can manage from prison using FaceTime, then Harry Redknapp can also...
And beat us.
He can manage from Cheltenham.
Only Spurs. Record breakers.
Ledley's Knee says, please take a moment to respect the Chelsea keeper showing solidarity with Kinsky by also dropping a stinker.
He was shocking.
To him.
He was shocking.
Absolutely.
And blanking the fans.
Yeah. Some things are bigger than football, 100%. 100%. We're all in this together, says the keepers of the world. Big up to you, Ledley's Knees again. Goocology says, will you be my gardener, Sean? For the right money? For the right money? Superb.
Funny.
Absolutely sensational. Rob Brown says the club wouldn't have to sell everyone. Who goes? That's a sort of 2-3 minute answer, mate. I mean, a lot of them we wouldn't have to sell everyone, but the ones that would definitely want to leave. Anyone I'm missing here? Be Romero, Van der Ven, Porro, Vicario, probably Kudus, probably Richarlison, Madison. Maybe
Hugo's gone. Hugo's gone.
I reckon Vuskovic wouldn't want to come back.
Yeah,
he wants to play with his brother, who comes out of the van in November. Yeah.
Big up to you, Rob. Coy's Hotspur says, Sean, bang the Richie karaoke video on. Hilarious. We'll do that at the end, mate. We'll do that at the end.
We can't.
Oh, we can't. No, we can't get. We'll get demonetized. That's right.
We got demonetized on Football Link because of playing it. It's on my Instagram story if you want to watch it.
Talking Tottenham 1882. Big up to Rain. Come on, you Spurs says, does anyone on the panel think we have world-class youngsters to come into the team next season?
World class.
No. Come on, world class. We have good players.
That's a big statement.
Yeah,
world class.
Also, if you, I think Sava drew my attention to this. If you look at all of the teams that are in the promotion race from the Championship, the youngest player in the squad of any of those 3 or 4 teams is Hayden Hackney, who's 23 and a half. So
he's quality, by the way. He's a really good player.
In fairness, Sean, I don't think Vuskovic would look out of place in the Championship. Do you?
No.
Half of our players are in the Championship. We could bring back Kota Sakai. Is Donnelly in the Championship? Bring him back.
Yeah,
Takai can't get a game for Coventry. So
Mikey Moore.
He's world class for Spurs. Bring him back.
No, Mikey Moore's even too good to come and play in the Championship for this team. Tell you that much.
Yang's at Coventry. Takai's abroad, isn't he?
Yeah, Yang. Sorry, Takai's. Yeah.
Big up to you, Rain. Thank you very much indeed.
Ashley Phillips? Where's Ashley Phillips?
He's Stoke. He's playing every week. They're sinking slowly, but he's getting playing every week. You know.
At least he'll know the Championship next year.
Listen,
we only bought him 2 seasons ago.
I know Donnelly, since Donnelly's coming to the Oxford team, they haven't been beaten. 1 goal and 1 assist. Got a massive goal the other night. So we shall see.
Just for what it's worth, the Celta Vigo goalkeeper has also just made a complete absolute catastrophe in solidarity with Kinsky. Celta Vigo 1, Lyon 1. I think it's Lyon, isn't it? Yeah, unbelievable.
I would love to see Tottenham rebuild using youth and a philosophy and our academy. If it means relegation gives us that, honestly, for me, because we're never going to do it in the Premier League. Our kids are never getting a chance in the Premier League. We'll waste our money on Odeberts and whatnot, tells instead. I would love to see our youngsters being embraced. Honestly,
good bit of news.
I think we've got talent at Spurs. We've got real talent at Spurs. It's just never been embraced. And everyone just mugs off the youth thinking, oh, they're not good enough. No, they've never had a philosophy and a coach and the patience to nurture them. That's what we've lacked. We've got
good bit of news.
Spurs, I'm telling you, we do.
Good bit of news, though. That well-known international striker Cho Gu-song has put Mitterrand in the lead. Anything that puts Marinakis in the mud is good on me.
Is Francolino Jew still playing?
No, he's injured, mate. I wish he was. Now, there's a player, eh?
There's a player.
He's a
big up to Sanilla.
Don't we want Nottingham Forest to stay in Europe if they're in a relegation battle?
But they got to play again. They got to fight next week, and then they play us. So,
yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Big up to Sanilla. Always here, always supporting. Very little, very said most of the time. Just an evening to you as well, Sanilla. Thank you very much for the generous super chat. Excuse me. As to all of you, big up to you all. Please don't forget, there's like 1,300 people here. Please do smash the like, smash the subscribe, and if the mods can pass around the links for the YouTube channels, that would be absolutely fantastic. Right, we've done the rats on a ship. Yes, Lou.
I could just say Sean King has asked me to make my 7-point manifesto 8. Let's have a bit of fun. Can I have some suggestions from the comments? Keep it clean. We have a lady on here tonight.
You're so
for the 8th point of your manifesto.
8 point. Let's make it an 8-point manifesto.
Okay.
Harry Redknapp from
number 8. No more manifestos. How about that?
Yeah, that's going to be the rule.
Lubo's got more points on his manifesto than Spurs have in 2026.
And the other point, I've got to tell you, the other point that was funny was that you will have an afro still before we win a game again. So,
mate,
are you not cutting your hair until the top of the game?
That guy's doing that challenge, isn't he? That he's not going to cut his hair again until Spurs win.
One game. Win one game.
One game.
Yeah. One game. Is that what it is? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll come to the Liverpool game, the preview in the next 10-15 minutes. There's I know Sarah wanted to talk about her email campaign. Before we get to that, Lubo, you asked me to talk about the season ticket email. Do you want to lead this point?
Yes, I sitting at my desk this afternoon. An email came through from the club regarding season tickets, extending the deadline to pay for your season ticket from Tuesday, the 26th of May, which is 2 days after the last match against Everton, and they've extended it 12 days to June the 7th. No hint of possible price changes. I don't suppose they're in a position at the moment to do that. I would expect if we do go down to reassess and put everything on hold and then look at what they're going to charge, because the product will be very inferior to in the Championship to the Premier League. I think this is a point that should be raised now by the various groups. And it just shows you how worried they are, obviously, that people are not going to renew their season tickets. I heard year before last, I was speaking to somebody who was just over 30,000 on the list of season ticket holders, and he was offered a ticket. And that was before Ange came in after the nonsense of Stellini and Mason at the end of that season when Conte threw his, diss a club, and we got 10 points from 9 games, and people just were not renewing. And I think the club obviously are very worried that if we do go down, there is going to be a massive decrease in the take-up of season tickets. So I think they're sensible to do that. I think it's the first proper thing that this ticket office have done. But I do think that they're in for a rude awakening if Spurs do go down.
Can I just add to that, Lubo, just to counter that crap, not your crap, their crap, that people received an email the day after the defeat in the premium seats informing them that season ticket prices were going to go up 5%. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. And last season, when they announced the freeze, they put premium seats up. Okay? So just for clarity here, premium seats, which are already way more expensive than any other, okay? Forget your Fulhams and all those other. They started off at £5,500 a seat plus VAT for a premium seat, which just included a drink at half time and a bowl of dog food. And I think that they really have to really realise now that this is a serious business. And should we go down, this is no freeze on upgrade on your season ticket. We should be looking at a significant reduction. I don't care that there's going to be more games. There needs to be a significant reduction in what we're being offered. You know, I joked before about me securing my Lincoln at home game in the posh seats. But who is going to want to travel down from, you know, I speak to the guys who travel from Devon, from Bradford down to every game, Spurs home and away. Why should they be travelling all this way to watch Lincoln, Portsmouth? You know, you cannot be charging those numbers. So whilst it's great that they're delaying it for those few days, Lubo, we need to see what they're really made of. Should we go down? Will they really make a concession to this fan base? Or will it be...
I think they delayed it last year as well, by the way. I think they extended the deadline last year.
Yeah,
from what I remember. Yeah.
I think they're buying time.
It's nothing new. They're not going to release new figures about how much it's going to cost if we get relegated, because we might not get relegated. Sorry, still.
Yeah.
What they've done is
no, of course they're not. I'm just saying, obviously not, Sarah, right? I'm not silly, right? But obviously not. But my point here is that you know, we don't know what they're going to do, right?
Well, they don't know what they're going to do. Lange and Vinay might not even be there.
Yeah, no, they've turned the wrong way every single time.
You're on mute. Sean, you're on mute.
They've done it. They got it wrong every single time. So, you know, I have no faith that should we get relegated, that they're going to pitch this at the right price again. You know, giving us a 10% discount, right? We're going to drop it by 10% is not going to cut the mustard with large weights of this fan base.
What percentage, guys, of the whatever the 100% of season ticket holders are? I think there's somewhere between 45 and 50,000 season ticket holders at Tottenham. What percentage of them are going to let's hypothetically say we are going down? What percentage of them are going to give their season ticket up? What percentage of them will have renewed already at the current price? And what percentage are going to wait for an appropriate discount that will have to be meaningful?
I think you're going to have to be definitely seriously not
20% discount.
No. Sure. If you're paying 1,100, if you're paying, say you're in the South Stand, right, 1,100, 1,200 quid, right? I think you're going to be having to drop it to about 795 or something like that to get people to keep
average price of a championship season ticket.
Any guesses?
It's about 600, I think. No, the highest price is 600, I think.
Middlesbrough 620, Sheffield Wednesday's 575. Norwich about 567. So about
700. Yeah, 700.
Can I tell you what I think's happened here? I think two things have happened. Number one, they opened the season ticket renewal previously, the date they opened up the window to renew, and based on previous seasons, there's a significant drop in the amount that are renewed early. So they're looking at that as an indicator,
of course,
that the numbers are going to be down. Hence, they've extended the period upon which you can renew. Secondly, the people I go with, they've always defended the board, or they've been sympathetic. I've been the only one out of the four of us that's been ENIC out, Levy out, and I've been saying to them, you know, we've been going at it for years, literally just tearing each other apart. This season, they've all agreed in our group, if we go down, none of them are renewing their season tickets, not a single one. I think what's going to happen is, if we go down, I think they're going to extend the deadline date slightly, and those that don't renew, they're going to contact them and say, we are going to give you a discount if you stay with us, because I don't think they're going to sell these season tickets.
Of course they won't, but you can't expect the early people, the people that are like, you know, passionate to pay. Let's say £1,000 is the current price, right? Just for
I think they'll reimburse them if they've already. I think
they have to. Otherwise, there would be a massive outrage that you're like primed to benefit from delaying the inevitable. You know, and how many people?
I think there's laws against that as well, isn't there? There's laws against doing pricing in such a way.
Well, no, there's not. I mean, like, listen, in business, like, you know, if you're a new customer discounts only, you see all these things. Join Paddy Power now for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. You get best place for 6 places in the.
But we're talking about existing customers.
That's what I mean. But like, if the laws are there saying existing customers get fuck all, but new customers get a benefit, like if those laws are okay, then surely there's probably not a law preventing Tottenham Hotspur from taking advantage of the suckers that are
going to get all sorts of bad backlash.
Of course,
PR.
I mean, they have no moral or ethics anyway, right? So that's the whole problem.
They're used to a bit of backlash. I mean,
how many people? What percentage of the share of the current season ticket holders have renewed already? What do you reckon?
You've got 42. You got 42,000 season ticket holders.
42,000, is it? Okay.
42,000.
So how many of them have
8,000 corporate?
How many of the 42,000, Lubo, do you think have already renewed?
Tiny percentage, probably.
And by like 2%,
probably not even. I wouldn't have thought even 1,000 would have.
Okay. On a normal year, on a normal year, by this point, by March the 12th, what percentage would you think have already renewed on a normal year when we're finishing 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever?
Maybe 10%, 15%, probably.
Okay. Yeah. So,
I mean, at the last game, who did we play last game? Palace, that was it. How could I forget? I was going round because the referee went off for about 15 minutes. So I was going round asking everyone in our area. Bear in mind, I sit in the north stand. So maybe where I sit, we have a different audience in that end. I'm not sure, because a lot of people in our end, they're on the senior citizen discount. We're also the stand that's next to the family tickets as well. So we have maybe a different type of demographic that sits in the north stand. And I was literally turning to everyone next to me and I was like, are you going next year? Would you renew your season ticket? And everyone around us, as much as they hate it, the diehard fans, I mean, even I would renew. Because I'm going to renew. You go to support the team. So I don't know what percentage. There's definitely some people.
Do you live in North London though, Sarah?
Just I'm sort of nearish Watford. It takes me 2 hours to get to the game.
2 hours.
Yeah,
right, so
I need 2 hours 15. I need 2 hours 15
from Watford. 2 hours.
Well, we do like we do pickups on the way, and we get.
Are you coming by bicycle? I mean, I'm in Radlett, and it takes me an hour.
Oh, I wish my dad likes to get there early. No, but we there's a big group of us.
Okay, well, you going on a tandem?
You hear that, Dad? Dad's watching. Dad's watching. Can we leave an hour and a half?
We walk to the stadium.
Can we leave an hour and a half before the game instead? No, I don't know.
No, I got to be honest with you. I take my son.
It doesn't matter.
He always moans that I go way too early to the game. I get there 2 hours before, purely because if I leave later, it can take me a lot longer to get to the stadium.
Especially for an evening game, you hit the North Circular.
Nightmare.
It's
But
in answer to your question, I think that in certain areas of the stadium, you'll get different take up. So I think in the South Stand, maybe they might get less people renewing.
I come from Surrey, right? And if I drive to the game, unfortunately, because of the traffic, it turned me into an alcoholic. Because if there was an evening game and I was like, right, if I wait until 5-6 p.m, I'm stuck in the rush hour traffic. I'm never going to get there. So then I was like, well, if I leave at 3 o'clock, I was like, but then I'm still going to meet the rush hour once I get to the North Circular. So then I started going, well, let's just leave around lunchtime. And I'll just get out there and just drink So I was getting up to the stadium at like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon for an 8
So
p.m.
you
game.
leave 5 hours before to sit there for 45 minutes to leave at half
And
time.
then leave anyway. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So listen, the one benefit of being in the Championship next season is that there'll be less traffic on the roads. You know, because I think there'll be like 65%.
I was a bit embarrassed talking about leaving. It's weird. Even at 5-2 down, when I was about to do my walkout video, I had this sort of pang of guilt that I'd actually left on like 87, 80, 88th minute. What happens if we score a goal? And I'm doing my walkout video. What happens if we score 2 goals? And all I missed was
Johnny,
2 players headbutting each other to miss the rest of the season.
How could you not say
Viral moment.
You know, clap the players off, Johnny. You know, how could you not?
They clapped them off, mate. They tried to have a fight with me last time I saw them.
Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, let's go. The last 10 minutes. We've got a massive game in 72 hours, less than 72 hours. It is Liverpool, and of course we have the horrendous potential scenario. We haven't heard anything yet, but that Igor Tudor is still in charge, and that we have potentially no Romero. We definitely have no Mickey van der Ven. We probably have no Romero. Probably have no Polinia. And the other.
Sorry,
injuries,
why no Romero? Why no Romero?
Because of concussion.
But he carried on playing though, didn't he?
He came down and the referee stopped the referee stopped the game. We didn't even mention the fact that the referee stopped the game before
the referee blew the game. He blew the whistle because of an injury. It's weird.
Because we only had 9 players left. He said, "Well, we might as well stop the game."
Then
they could have carried on.
Sorry, did Romero finish the game, guys, or not?
No, I don't think he did.
He was. I think he was on the pitch, but he was like hunched over and like pretty much on the floor. I think. From but I also disengaged. Disengaged.
Yeah, but either way, like you know, our medical team are people that don't take any risks, or they do take risks. They just take risks with in ways that we don't want them to. But, yeah. But like I'd be surprised. Anyway, Igor Tudor said no Van der Ven, potentially no Romero, no Polinia. So the back line, if he does want to play a back 3, might look like back to Porro playing right-sided centre back, and so.
Is Ben Davies back? We need him.
No, Davies isn't back. He's out. He's out forever. He's done. His career.
Wait for my score prediction this week.
No, he's opened the bookshop. The bookshop opens up again tomorrow. The book club. I don't know who's going to run the book club. That should be a whole section.
Is Ben Davies actually back after the international break?
No,
that's what the injury update said. Whether it's true.
Who cares? He's rubbish. He's rubbish.
We might need him. If Romero comes back and gets a yellow card his next game, he's never going to play for us again.
Do you remember when he came back from injury, Sarah? Do you remember when he came back from injury his first game and Frank put him on set piece duty? He was taking the corner.
He scored a goal. He scored a goal. No one else is scoring goals. We need it.
Put him up front. Okay, let's do it.
Listen, I know you want to throw mud in many directions still, but don't throw mud towards my boy Ben Davies. Dependable Ben.
Oh, stop it.
He might need him as manager. Keep him off the pitch. We might need him as manager.
He never lets you down.
Average football player.
Bendable Ben. Anyway, listen, let's get into it. So we got 8 minutes left, 9 minutes left. We do need to get some thoughts on the games. The reason I mentioned the injuries is there's lots of them, and obviously suspension risk. I mean, Van der Ven's out. I think Romero has 2 yellow cards he has to avoid before he gets suspended again. He's got 3 Premier League games in which to avoid them. But you can make a starting 11 and a prediction based on.
I think we've only got 12 fit players, Sean. I might be wrong, but someone said we got 12 fit players if Polinia.
If Polinia and Romero's out, it would likely be Pedro Porro right-sided centre back, Dragusin in the middle if he's fit, and Kevin Danso as the left side.
He's got a swollen toe. He's got a swollen toe.
Left back of Jed Spence, right wing back of Archie Gray again, and then the midfield of Conor Gallagher and Pape Sarr, and then the front or Basuma, and then the front 3 of Xavi Simons, Richarlison.
He's not going to play Simons, Sean. He hates him.
No,
he hates Simons. He hates him.
Could that be the buy of the season?
He'll be a good player. He'll be a good player in a happier environment. But anyway, go on. Talk me through your thoughts. Talk me through your thoughts, stuff.
Oh, listen, I think we're getting whooped. I think it's going to be an absolute tonking. I think we're getting absolute. If we thought Madrid was bad, this is going to be next level. Honestly, guys, we're going to go up there and we're going to play a team that isn't actually spectacularly good. They've got problems, but they're still in that top 6. They still seem to find a way to win. So there's no doubt in my mind Liverpool will win the game. I think our defence hasn't got a chance in bloody hell. If Romero and Van der Ven are out, and there's no Paulini, if those 3 are out, our defence is going to get. It's going to be so ugly to watch. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the full game. Honestly, no Van der Ven, Romero, and Paulinho, we're done. We haven't got a hope in hell. And then I just know at Anfield, things don't go for us anyway. Our record there is horrendous. When you then compound it to the situation we're in, the toxicity in the club, the players not being switched on, and then you just take out the 3 most experienced players in the team. The 3 most experienced players in the team as well. Listen, I don't know what the score is going to be. We'll do our predictions at the end, I'm sure. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if we are 5-0 down at half-time. And I mean that. I would not be surprised if we're 5-0 down at half-time. God knows. He should have. Sean, I don't know anymore with this lot. I thought he was gone after Atletico. I really thought, that's it, you're done. But then they've said you're going to... I think he's going to be here for Liverpool and the Atletico second leg. I think he's going to be here for Atletico second leg.
I don't make you wrong. And if the Athletic article is true that the players hate him and they don't respect him or anything else, and he hasn't got his assistant manager. I mean,
Sean,
his assistant manager is going to arrive at Tottenham the day after Igor Tudor gets relieved of his duties. He's
going to set us up wrong. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just comedy. Listen, that's the only kind of sympathy you give Tudor, that his number 2's not even there. You've got to give him that. You've got to say, do you know what? He's been dealt a bit of a raw deal with that. Yeah. But
again, the football club should have fucking looked into that and baked that into their equation, right?
I think he's going to go to... Of course they should have. The same with hiring Heitinger for a month. What was the thinking there? When a lot of Spurs fans said, "Oh, we've hired Heitinger because he's going to take over." That was an absolute load of nonsense. I don't think he's going to go to a back 3. I think he'll go to a back 4 because he'll be forced into it. If both centre backs are out, he's not going to go to a back 3. He'll go to a back 4. But then I don't have any confidence with what he's going to do with our midfield. I think when it comes to the midfield, I think he's got it completely wrong. Not playing 3 in the middle, always playing with 2, and then he always plays the wrong 2 given the game that we're playing. So I think the defence is screwed, not necessarily because of him, because of the injuries and suspensions. The midfield is going to get it wrong. That's it. It's the game. It's done. We're going to get beaten. It's going to be a bad result. Could be 3, could be 6. I think we're going to be 4-5-0 down at half time. I mean that. Liverpool are going to
what about the final score?
And they're not even that great.
Give us your prediction now, mate. Just take the notes down for the prediction now, so we can because I've got a space.
Still, see, are we going to do the same thing, like go 5-0 down, then wake up and score a couple of goals?
I don't know if scoring in this game is going to. I don't know. Anfield's horrible. Anfield is horrible. It's a horrible place. Things always go wrong for us there. It always goes wrong, even when we've got good teams. We've taken good teams to Anfield and not won.
5-1 last year. 5-1 last year.
I'm going to give you my prediction.
We were there.
I'm going to give you my prediction right now. I'm going 5-1.
Don't go.
I was just about to say that. And I can't because I can't catch Sean. Damn it. Do you know what? I'm going to go 5-2 again. I'm going to go 5-2 again. 5-2.
All right.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
5-2, 5-1. Sarah, what's your score prediction and your thoughts on the game?
It's going to be ugly. I think we're probably... I did a vote on my channel. Should I do a watch along, some trauma bonding? And everyone was here for it. So I don't know. I don't know. I honestly... I don't know what lineup he's going to go with. I don't know what the score is going to be. We're going to lose. This is a throwaway game. And the whole reason why they haven't sacked Frank, so not Frank, it's Tudor. I've lost track of who our manager is. The whole reason why they haven't sacked Tudor is because it's a throwaway game. It's a throwaway game for him. So they'll probably get rid of him after. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sacked after that game. But we're probably going to lose it. That's for sure. I don't know. 4-2. We've lost, 4-2, 6-3 in the past couple of years. So I don't know. The way we're going, based on those last few stats, it will be 5-0 at half time. So final score, I don't know. 5-2. I'm going 5-2 as well. Yeah, why not? I don't know.
5-1, 5-2, and 5-2. This is looking good.
Yeah.
Lubo?
Yeah, no hope.
Well, I can't go 5-1 or 5-2 now, can I? So,
Lubo, you going? Are you going to the game?
6-2.
He
He tried to sell me the tickets.
Sarah, just for what it's worth, right? Because we do this predictions league, because it's been so competitive. Apart from Johnny, who's been absolutely abject for the last like 3 months. Every time we get to this predictions thing, normally there's an argument around who gets to go first, who gets to go last. But because we are so bad right now, we're all trying to get our horrendous worst case possible scoreline out first, so that no one else.
Are we not allowed to say the same scoreline? Is that what it is?
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, you can if you want to, but because I'm top of the table, these two need to do something different to be able to catch me. So, it's difficult. Lubo says I can't go 5-1. I mean, what is that for a fucking problem? A headache. I can't predict that my team's going to lose 5-1.
Bring up William Hill.
This is the state we're in.
Yeah.
Go 3. Go 6-3.
He's not going to go 6-1, is he? He's not going to go 6-1.
They beat us 6-3 in 2024. Just saying.
They did.
6-2.
Oh, fuck off! I can't believe he's. Are you really going to go? Are you really going to go? That's where I was going. I was waiting for.
Johnny's just upset because he can't go 6.
You can't go.
That's exactly right. I was going 6-2. I was going out of Stell's game. We go 5-0 down at half time because, listen, Liverpool aren't great at home. Forest beat them 3-0 at home. Man United beat them and Man City beat them. It's unusual for them to lose 3 home games. They haven't been brilliant.
4-1 is far more likely than 6-1. You might come on. I get 4.
No. But I was going to go for the fact. That, like Stell, they were 5-0 down at half time, and we made that fantastic comeback and lose only 2-1 in the second. We win 2-1 in the second half. Right. I'm going to go 4-2. To Liverpool.
There you go.
If we win, do we keep Tudor? Do we keep Tudor if we win?
No, he should. But he should have been gone already.
No, if we win the game, of course Tudor stays.
Yeah,
if we win.
If we win the game, of course. If we win, and then on Wednesday night we're singing Igor Tudor's blew in my army. Igor Tudor's blew in my army. And
then we're all going Wednesday night.
Definitely going.
Listen, I'm going to change my score. I was going to go 6, so I'm going to go 6-1.
1 minute. You've gone from 4-2 to 6.
Well, I was going to go 6-2. Was going to be my score. I'm going to go 6-1.
So just to be clear, so I've
gone
gone 5-1.
Johnny, what score?
Stell's gone 5-2.
6-1.
Lubo's gone 6-2. Johnny's gone 6-1, and Sarah's gone 5-2. That is the sign of a team of
in form.
We got real confidence.
Listen, I got to tell you, right, the fact that Lubo and I are not going to this game at Liverpool, I've lost count how many times I've been to Liverpool. We've been together to games, both driving, coaches, cup games. The fact that Lubo and I can go to Madrid but will not drive to Liverpool tells you everything you need to know about how this fan base is feeling right now. They don't deserve us, Lubo. They don't, mate.
Yeah, the other point is,
I think
it's
you're doing
Mother's
the right
Day.
thing, guys.
It's Mother's Day, correct?
But you have to ruin it.
You know what though? I think you're doing the right thing because you know all this. Oh, just get behind your team, support. The thing is that hasn't worked. Right? It hasn't worked. Fans trying to get behind this team has not worked. So this whole just get behind them. The fans have no influence in the games or results. None. It is down to the environment, the manager, the coach, and the players to find the way out.
I can't believe you are actually saying you're someone that blames the fans for not creating change at the ownership level where they actually have no influence. Yet you think that the fans have no influence in the game where they actually do have influence. That's why Newcastle United are so good at home, but so terribly away from home.
The last 4 games, tell me how the fans have influenced the game.
That's not the point I'm making. You're suggesting like you as a person blames the fan base generally because you say the fans don't essentially protest. Like, whereas the owners are people that don't have to listen. They can close the window, put their fingers in their ears. They haven't got to say boo to a goose if they don't want to, because you can't force them out. But you blame the fans for not making more of an uproar against the owners because you think that the fans have an impact on the owners, yet at the same time say that the fans have absolutely no impact on the outcome of a game when there's 60,000 fans in a stadium that could, if they wanted to, back their team and scream from the rooftops.
Sean,
that logic doesn't logic for me.
No, it does, because you're comparing the fans influencing a result on the pitch compared to the fans influencing the direction of this football club as it's run by the owners. We've seen the last 4 games, we have sold out our tickets. Right, we've packed out White Hart Lane twice. Actually, no, the numbers were a bit down in one of the games, but the fans, every time the game started, I've heard them roaring, I've heard them cheering. Against Palace, I heard the fans trying to get the players, come on, we can do this.
He's right.
And then the players the team just capitulates.
No, hang on. That's not the point you're making.
My point is the fans are having no influence on the results.
No, but you're saying are you saying the fans are having no influence, or the fans can't have an influence? Because a minute ago you said the fans can't have an influence on the outcome. They're not having any influence. So in my opinion, we can't because we're not. They're proving to me that we can't because we're not. Generally, fans have no influence.
No, in this moment, Sean, in this moment.
So there's two. How I see it is there's 2 problems. You've got. I said this in my campaign video today, but you've got a short-term problem, which is we need to win a game to stay up, and the long-term problem is the ownership. And so when you're protesting, when people are protesting, what they're actually protesting is the directors and the board. But they do that on a match day, which infiltrates all of that energy into the stadium. And you've got 2 separate issues because fans are going to support the team. They are. And look, I've been slated in my comments from Everton fans, from Villa fans, they're all coming over saying we are a terrible fan base. We are the most loyal fan base there is. To stick with this and to keep going and for you guys to fly out to Spain. I mean, people are really, really loyal to this club and we cheer. And I agree with Stell. We cheer, we try and cheer the team up. We get behind the team. And then what happens? You collapse in 17 minutes. You can see 3 goals. Well, of course, the atmosphere it's so hard to come back from that, and we try and stay till the end. We all try and stay to the end. We all try and support it, but there's nothing to cheer about at that point because you can just see the players' heads drop and it's just a collapse. And it's destructive. It's sad to see, but at this point, I don't know. I agree with Stell. I don't know how much more we as fans can do, yeah, it's a catch-22.
I think Sarah. Hang on, I think as far as Johnny and I going to Spain is concerned, I think we're probably A1 masochists, and maybe it was the last time we'll ever.
We all are. We keep going back for more torture.
Yeah, but it could be the last. Go on, Lubo.
Yeah, I agree.
Could be the last time me and Johnny ever go away for a European trip, couldn't it, Johnny?
100%. And
we were having the same conversation about next week. I've got a ticket for the Atletico Madrid game. We're already out the tie. My dad was like, I don't want to go. And I was like, well, we might not be in Champions League for years. So, but is there going to be any atmosphere? I don't know. It's such a, you support the team. We all do, but it's tough. It's tough right now.
Okay, so we've got all the predictions. So 5-1, 5-2, 6, 5-1, 5-2, 5-2,
6-1.
6-2 and 6-1. Yeah. Fucking hell. The state of us. All right, listen, before we round off, a couple of minutes. Sarah, you mentioned you have an email campaign or something that you want to. I'm not sure what. So do you want to go into the details of it and let everyone know where?
Yeah, I tried to share a link in the chat, but I don't know if that's YouTube or StreamYard or whatever. But over on my channel, you can see on the community tab. If you click the link, it will generate an email which you can put your name. You can put your name at the bottom and hit send, and it will be sent to all of the directors and the club. And it's not so much about what the email says. It's more about numbers, although there's not a space there. But yeah, activist mailer, I think you might need a space in between that. So if people click, it might not work, but it's Save Our Spurs. We already have just looking now, we have 103 emails that have been sent since I launched it. So we're averaging about 25 an hour emails at the moment. So Vinay, Nick, Viv, they're all going to open their inboxes hopefully in the morning and just have a lot of emails from a lot of concerned Spurs fans, let's say that. But the way it's designed is that the whole campaign, that website basically bypasses phishing. It looks at compliance and the best way for those emails to be received by those recipients. So it's more about the volume. And if we get enough people emailing in, then they can't ignore it. So it's another approach. I'm here for all the campaigns. I'm here for all the support in every capacity to help try and change this club and change our trajectory. So, you know, I'm just sick of us all moaning about it. So I got to the point where I was like, right, you know, let's see if collectively we can have a voice back, because we feel like we've lost our voice, and clearly protesting on the high road isn't working. So if we get I've paid for unlimited emails for 1 month. I think one of my subscribers also just sponsored another month as well. So if there's enough traction, we'll see how it goes. It's a social experiment.
Sure. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. Are you going to be at the protest at the Nottingham Forest game?
No, I don't think so. No,
Sarah, can I ask you a question? Why
though,
not?
Sarah?
Yeah, for feedback purposes, not to.
So there's I go with 11. There's 11 of us when we're there. We're over 3 generations. So my dad and his mates and their kids, are sort of, you know, 30s and 40s, and Alan, who comes with us, he's in his 80s. And they just, I don't know. I've asked them. We all go together in the same cab, right? So, you know, I've asked them, you know, what's the difference?
That's why it takes 2 hours.
I don't know, maybe.
Because you've got a black cab and he takes you left when he should be going right.
Well, I don't know. He's got a few speeding fines, does Pete? So he definitely doesn't speed. But no, I don't know. I asked them and they were just like, no. And I was like, well, why not? And they were like, I don't know.
The guy's obviously not done his knowledge, is he? This driver. Eh?
I don't know if he's watching. I don't know what his hand is. Maybe he's watching. He's in the vlog.
Sarah, can I?
He's dialing that meter up. That man is getting his season ticket paid for by the extraordinarily long journey. It doesn't need to take 2 hours to get from Watford to Tottenham.
Why are we round Regent's Park? I'm not worried about that.
Listen, if you ask
Sarah,
me nicely, you might be able to pick me up from fucking Surrey.
Guys, he's not taking anyone home next game because he's saving the seat for Tudor in the back. He's taxi for Tudor at the end of the game. We're not getting in the taxi.
Yeah, Sarah, can I want to push you on this a little bit. What's their reasoning for not protesting? Why are they not wanting to get involved? What would they say is the reason?
I don't know. I have to ask. Do you know what? Actually, I did do a vlog where I asked my dad in the car, and I don't know. I think they just think it doesn't really have much impact. And I know for my dad says you're going on match day to support the protests. Sorry, to support the players. I'm getting distracted by Johnny. I don't know what he's doing, but I think you're going on match day to support the players, right? So I think he feels that the negative energy, if you want to protest the board, there's a way to do that, and there's a way to support the players. And in a situation like this, when you're in a relegation fight and you need the points and you need to win a game, it's not helpful to the players to be protesting in the stadium and shouting at the directors. But I understand the frustration both ways. So that's why I've set this up. You know, I think we're now up to 117.
Because I'll be honest, I think, and I hope your campaign works, by the way, I think emails and letters don't do anything, in my view.
Well, Vinay's already getting a bounce back. We've already blocked Vinay's emails.
Listen, I hope you prove me wrong. I'd love to, because anything that gets this lot out, I'm on board. I think the only way we change anything is to hurt them in their pockets. It's the only way, which is why the whole delegation thing, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but that's why that's why I'm behind. That's why I'm for it. But we're not prepared to boycott games. And I can understand the reason why now, because there's going to be many like your dad who see it as, why should we boycott the games? We're there to support them. But this is what I think is the core of the problem at the moment with our fan base. Not wanting to take the kind of action that significantly hurts the owners, we're never going to get out of this doom loop. And until we get more fans, not just your dad, but thousands like him, because they're actually the majority. Your dad's in the majority of fans that want to actually say, do you know what? I'm actually going to come to this game and do something different. I don't think we get out of this doom loop. I think we just rinse, repeat.
No, I agree with you. And I also think, look, there's 250,000 One Hotspur members. And I also think there are millions of fans all over the world who, as I said before, if they could come to a protest, they probably would, but they don't live in the country. But they're also the people, I've got fans watching on my channel, supporters who say, you know, they live in Kenya, they live in Canada, and if we get relegated, they're not going to be able to watch the game next season, you know? So I think those people would want to protest as well. But unfortunately, they're not do it. So I think maybe doing it digitally also empowers more people to have a voice because they do care about the club as well. They might not be match day going fans, but football in 2026 is different to what it was in the 1900s. So I don't know. There's an argument for both, and I do agree with you. I don't know. I'll put it in the vlog. The next vlog. Actually, no one's going to Forest. They've all got a wedding, so there's only 3 of us out of the 11 going to Forest. So there you go. There's a third of us. Forest game.
All right, listen, perfect time. Listen, good luck with your campaign, Sarah. Thank you very much for coming on. If someone in the chat, I don't know, I think people have been putting the link in there. Let me see if I can grab it. I can't see it right now. Let me get it.
No, I tweeted it. I put it. Look, I'm not a campaigner. I'm not a campaigner. I've just set
You are
up
now. You are now.
No, I'm a
You are now.
facilitator. I'm a coach. I'm a facilitator. That's what I do. I facilitate.
No, I'm just talking
I've
about
opened
your,
the link, and whatever happens, flies back is what it is. You know.
I wasn't
Sarah,
a protester until 5 years ago. I wasn't a protester, right?
Listen,
Yeah,
Sarah,
maybe.
if this goes well, and if you get a lot of people in the campaign, you could get a call from Starmer. He's looking for people like you.
Oh yeah. Well, look, we've got 130.
My number one priority in the
130.
country right now is to hire Sarah. She's absolutely fantastic at doing the email.
I'd rather be a
What she's
mindset
done
coach.
at Tottenham, what she's done at Tottenham is nothing short of a miracle.
Absolutely, absolutely, Sarah. Listen, it's the number one priority of this country and my government is to hire Sarah to give her a chance to really make the needle move.
Oh, I wish I could do that at Spurs, guys. I wish I could do that at Spurs. I'd go in there. I'd give them a motivational talk.
Big up to you for coming on. There's for everyone that's watching, there's still 1,200 people here. There's Sarah's channel. She's on 3.5K or something like that. So make sure you subscribe to her. Let's see if we can get her up to the next 3.45K she's on now. Hopefully by the end of tonight, you guys will have smashed the sub and got her up to, I don't know, another 100 on there. Whilst you're at it, guys, don't forget to look for Stel's channel. Stel's getting going. Stel, have you done a video yet?
Not a full-blown proper one, no. In fact, do you know what? There's 1,093 watching. If 50% of you can just quickly go to Mr. Stairs and the Spurs and hit subscribe, that means I can start on 1,000. That'd be great.
There you go. Subscribe to Stelios as well.
And if everyone sends an email, then I will be getting 1,000 more emails.
And then go to Sarah's campaign and get involved with the emails. And protest on a match day too. Do everything. Subscribe.
Or if you went
email,
to,
protest.
Or if you went to Football Link. If you whack that in the chat.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it. You know what, guys? Like there's four of us on this show that have also got access to YouTube and have also got access to the comment section. I don't know how I'm supposed to host a show and do all the admin as well. But for fuck's sake, there's Mr. Stelios on Spurs. I've already posted the link for Sarah.
What happened to the admin? I thought the mods are meant to be doing that.
Oh, the mods aren't modding, and you lot aren't doing it. You lot aren't owning. You know, I'll do it all, shall I? There's Football Link, the channel that shan't be mentioned. I'm not even going to bother with Spurs Talk Show because you know where you can find me. I'll be hanging out the back of a cab. Absolutely fantastic, and you get some more AI content from me and Mr. Lubo. Oh, fuck, I've got to go and find you on Twitter now, haven't I? Jesus.
Don't worry. At Lubo, it's at Lubo_61. And guys, we're very close to 27,000 subscribers. Let's get over the line today. Let's have a few people subscribing tonight to the Spurs Five as well.
Can I just ask before we go, if anyone knows a good taxi driver for Sarah, please drop his name in the comments with his telephone number, because
a reliable taxi driver
that doesn't.
Poor Pete. Sorry.
Pete's getting it worse than Jeff gets it normally. Jesus Christ.
And someone that doesn't go from Watford to Tottenham via Birmingham, please.
Yeah. I don't need that ways. I'm all right. I know my way. Yeah, we've met them before. Right.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna give this man last chance saloon Destiny. I love you to pieces, mate. You get back your mod. And where's Danny Kiriakou? I'll remod Danny Kiriakou. All is forgiven from the other week. All right, guys, listen, we're going to leave it there. Sarah, thank you very much for coming on. Absolutely sensational debut on the show. We'll bring you back into the circulation. If you'd like to come back on, you'll be put into the circulation. Lubo, big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for doing your thing. Stel, I think it's your turn to do the clips, mate. So I hope you took all the notes. But don't let me end this. Copy and paste your notes from the note thing. Otherwise, they'll disappear. If you've got them already. You done that? Because as soon as I end the stream, it will disappear. And Johnny, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate everybody. Thanks to everyone in the chat.
See you tomorrow on Football Link.
Yep. Football Link will be back tomorrow. I'm sure Sarah will be around. I'll be around. I'm sure Lubo and Stel will be doing their things as well. And we will see you guys later on. As always, guys, like, subscribe, and comment. And thanks for your support. Take care. Bye-bye. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's hope for a 6-1 defeat.